and welcome back to Princess of Persia.
Hopefully
We'll be doing a full stream today.
Hopefully. I don't know if you ever discussed how the thing turned out.
The game jam thing?
Yeah.
Needless to say, they didn't make much more progress since I decided to kind of tap out. Jesse ended up doing the actual, sorry, 1 second. Oh, excuse me.
That's you?
Jesse ended up doing the presentation for the thing, and I think they were only one of 2 groups for the Cogswell whatever that were unsuccessful in completing their game.
Oh, well, I mean, at least they're not alone.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's some solidarity in there, but I don't know, it's just one of those things where it's like, I don't necessarily want to work with that team again in the future, but I'm going to be much more firm next time, because these were new people, and they're not my people, they're Jesse's people, you know what I mean? So I don't want to be... Yes.
Remember at the start of the whole entire thing, I'm like, Zach, make sure to be really hard, and then especially since you don't know these people.
No, but I mean but it was a little different, because it wasn't necessarily
I know exactly the problem you're talking about, and that's why I was just be as hard as you need to be. But I mean, I guess once you're in person with someone,
I'm not necessarily. I know I'm saying no, but I'm not necessarily disagreeing. But it was more a difficulty of, I don't know. I didn't want to step in anybody's potato salad, because I was being invited into this project as a project manager, not as a team lead. That wasn't what my role in the team was supposed to be. So it was one of those things where
that's the point of a manager,
it's not
to
very
manage
distinct.
the people.
Right, managing the people is not leading the project. There's a difference.
Can you give me a little bit of what exactly do you think I'm saying you should have been doing? That's more of a lead role than
a lead is somebody
role.
who can tell people yes and no a lot more succinctly than a manager. During the game jam, I was constantly reminding people what we could and could not do based on the talents of our team, right? But then if 5 out of the 10 people on the team, so 50% of the people on the team disagree with me, I can't as one person override them, because it's not my
that's
team.
Understandable. Yeah.
So that was the difficulty there. And like I said, ultimately it ended up being more or less fine, but it was just one of those scenarios where in the future, it's one of the, I don't know. I already stated that I didn't really enjoy the idea of doing a first-person shooter. I feel like that was way out of scope, and I think that's going to be something that I really have to hammer home next time. Is you guys need to reduce your scope by a lot.
Yeah.
Ooh, how do I pick something up again? Oh. I love the scarab particle effects.
Run, my prince.
Forgot about his terrible eyes.
His bulging, throbbing eyes.
Bring forth whatever you have. I will be victorious.
Okay, whatever you say, Prince.
At least he's confident.
I will say, by the way, that one of the things that Mikey made me think of yesterday was what if I did kind of go back and turn a couple of those clips from some of those clips that I make highlights of, and just turn them into YouTube shorts.
You could. I have no. Yeah, I mean, as long as you know how to work it, I have no understanding.
I mean, I do know how to work it, but it's more along the lines of
Do you want to put the energy to do that?
You have to jump first. Hello, Raheem.
Hello, Raheem. Let me actually, so I can see it. Long time no milkshake, Raheem.
Nope. God. It's awkward to do this. All right. Now I want to go this way.
So prognosis on the, or I guess like potential dates I will be heading back is like sometime next weekend or like next like week early, like maybe Monday. So it's just like next weekend or like 1 or probably 2 days after maybe, depending on what's the cheapest flight.
Oh, okay.
Not that I don't know if it changes that much for you, I guess, but potentially I may be gone for a day on the weekend depending on what the flight date is.
Arguably, the only thing that affects in terms of me and like my stuff is whether or not I have to deal with you having a non sequitur conversation with your chat during my stream. That's the only consideration. But it'd be good to have you back. It'd be good to have you on a circumstance where you don't have to leave after like an hour. You know?
Yeah. I'm glad I could, like, you know, at least
hang out for a little bit. Yeah.
No. So.
Fuck.
Yikes.
There you go.
I see Raheem. I see. Raheem's really into the boneless mayo variety.
Boneless mayo is fucking disgusting. I don't want to think about that's fucking vile. What the fuck? Okay. What the fuck was the point of this? Okay, here we go. This game sucks.
How dare you?
It does though.
You're just not playing the game correctly.
Camera,
You did
please.
something to my logo. Sir, I'll let you know that took me a long time to make because I'm not that great of an artist. But regardless,
I'm king of the world.
you've turned it into a cat with a bottle of mayo. Not the boneless variety.
That's a scarab. Ooh, Jesus.
Oh, yikes. That's a big bug.
Ah, yes. The combat. Love it. Cool, my sword attacks deal more damage now.
Ah, is that a good idea? A white bottle of mayo on top of a white cat?
Okay.
Yo!
The menagerie of the myths. That's
It's
great.
just... Well, I mean, okay, sure. My cat's, you know, more or less meant to be, like, more, like, cozy and everything, but technically, yes, that does look more, edgy. For sure.
Run, my prince. He's just kind of like watching the move. It's so stupid. Okay, here we go.
The very, very, must have had a fun time doing that, Raheem, though. That is pretty fun. And you're gonna make another one specifically for mayonnaise. Okay.
Man, this fucking camera.
Yo, this music, though.
Alright, that does not work.
Find a place to climb, or the scarabs will eat you alive.
Yo.
Fucking game, please.
Game.
Alright. I like how it's not even like special scarabs. Like these are just apparently how scarabs work.
No, these are scarabs specifically in this kingdom.
I mean, please.
Quickly, get off the ground.
Hello, game, please.
These scarabs have height, bro. They can like.
That's not what I'm talking about. The game's just not responding to any of my inputs.
Gonna fall.
Cool. Love it. Great. Love it.
Love it. Great. Love it.
Find a way to dispose of these beetles permanently.
Let's eradicate the entire species.
Sure, go for it. Okay.
Never actually remember. Valentine's Day, is it on the 14th of February?
On the 14th, yes.
Okay. That happened. I didn't even notice.
It's the 12th.
I know. I did notice stuff in the stores, but like more stuff was like more spring related than Valentine's Day. At least here. Oh my god, Zach.
Yes, that's me.
Not that I would be back, but did you recall ever saying we should do a thing on like Valentine's Day where we like looked up
the fucking like etchy games?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I was thinking about it. It would genuinely be like a hilarious joke to do for like a Valentine's Day, because you could probably do it in like a tasteful way, right? Because you're still not, well, I mean, depending on the game, I guess, but like you're still mostly not
For
allowed
whoever
to have.
doesn't have a Valentine, they can,
I think that's.
you know, fictional women.
Oh yeah, fictional women. How do I?
As real as you can get them, just without being actually real.
Am I okay, there's a... Can I... Is there a button that I was supposed to hit?
Right there? Is that a button?
Saba, that's what activated the spike traps.
Oh.
I'm glad you're looking at the game that you're making me play. Don't worry, everybody. Saba's got Instagram covered during stream.
No, I'm literally not doing Instagram. I'm actually working.
Uh-huh.
Yeah?
So you're in a meeting is what you're telling me.
No.
Yes, she's
Not
in a
that kind of work.
She's in a meeting.
Not that kind of work.
Not actually having to contribute anything. Good to know. How do I... Okay. Am I foolish?
I don't know.
Am I...
Well, that, yeah, but like, I don't know in relation to this.
I don't see...
Like, I don't understand why these are here, besides being another way of just, I guess, jumping.
Well, because there was a... Once again, if you were looking, there was collectibles at the top of each of them. So I'm wondering if this thing is actually a timer for the door.
Did it open?
Yes. And you can... There you go. So now it's...
Oh. I was thinking in the back of my head, we'll, like, pull it again. Maybe it'll open
Yeah.
it, but...
Menagerie of Izdahar.
It was just weird because it brought up all the traps, but then the door still closes.
Izdahar served a higher purpose. These pins protected legendary creatures from all across known time and space. Many were the last of their kind, all gone now.
All right, genuinely, that's pretty hype.
It was like ancient SCP.
Kill me? No, they're just underneath there. Okay. Ancient SCP. I guess so.
Maybe these beetles were an SCP. But
Sure.
managed to survive.
Okay. I love...
It's an ASCP. Zach.
What does the A stand for?
The ancient.
Oh, sure. Okay, fine. still running from bugs while having to press this. There we go. Okay. Thank you for the slow-mo. Thank you, Prince of Persia. Very cool.
Very theatrical. Great, right?
Okay, let's get up there.
See, I don't know why, but I just enjoy the atmosphere of this game more. Even though, like, come on, like this may be somewhat similar to the other one. I mean,
this one. I mean, it
visual
looks different. I like it. I'm admittedly having a little bit of difficulty enjoying the scenery with all the scarabs, but but that's a video game, you know.
No time to waste in some cases.
Cool. Okay. All right. Got it. Thank you.
Ah, yes, Zach's trusty. Ah, hi-ya! Ah! No, hopefully it wasn't too loud.
It's not. The camera's not even focused on the thing that I'm targeting right now, by the way. Just in case that wasn't super obvious.
Don't you just love the little sparkle noise when you get the stuff?
Ah, motion controls. I love them. Ow! Fucking Jesus! Fuck, what was the thing for blocking again?
The Z?
See?
Yeah.
I'm kind of just doing like a little punch. Oh, there you go.
You got him now? You got him running for the hills?
Cool. Wasn't that impressive?
Yeah, Zach.
Aren't
nice
you impressed
job.
with my feats of combat?
Your combatic feats.
So I won't go super into it because I already kind of mentioned it yesterday. But as I mentioned, I'm back on the job application train, and one of the things. So you know, just applying to stuff, just trying to see like what's available, like what's around, and cool. Thanks, game. What the fuck am I supposed to do with that? Not what I pressed. Okay, I'm gonna do this real quick so that way I'm not yelling in the middle of my thing. What am I supposed to do?
I need to look more visually closely.
What the fuck was that? Okay. Whatever. Who cares? We're done. All right. Anyway, long story short, I saw a job listing for a like low-level manager at a quote-unquote arcade. That's what they called it. But then the job description was like basic managerial responsibilities for the laser tag arena, mini golf course, escape rooms, and arcade. And I was like, what the fuck is this building? Where is this? And so I look up the zip code for the company, and apparently it's within like 50 zip codes of where I live, which means that it would be like 20 to 30 minutes away. And I'm like, what the fuck? I have never heard of something like this being near where I
Like
live.
what, close to you? Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Obviously, the pay would be absolute dog shit, but who knows? Maybe that would be
Looks like our
fun.
friends have found us again.
Climb to the top, quickly!
Oh yeah, and if I'm like muted for a very long, prolonged period of time, you know it's because my internet is died and I'm just like in a lagging abyss.
Mm-hmm.
So glad you understand.
Definitely
Zach.
not because Saba thinks she has better things to do.
No,
I
definitely
understand.
not.
It's okay. I understand.
How? Why would I ever do such a thing to you, Zach?
You fucking hate me.
Who said such a thing, Zach?
VTuber looking ass.
I don't see, Zach. I haven't said that to you, huh? You're the only one making mean comments to me. Oh look! Isn't this exciting?
Yes. Very exciting.
Ha! Got them.
Flush.
Heroic challenge completed, flush. That's not a challenge. Like, you have to do it. That's not optional.
Zach, aren't you? Look, but they're trying to be supportive of you
I'm
playing
gonna
the
kill
game.
you
Zach.
with my mind. So I ended up buying the Control DLCs today for $6
Can you? I don't know if I've seen them. Can you remind me what like the description is of it?
of the DLC.
Yeah.
It's just more story stuff. Okay, cool. I'll just do this.
Okay. I'm not sure
it's
if I've
just
seen
what-
that.
Well, they came out like a considerable amount of time after the initial release, so genuinely it might be the sort of thing where whoever you were watching play
Yeah,
Control just moved on to
Yeah.
something else, because it was like, I want to say it
Probably.
was like 5 or 6 months after the initial release is when the
Then
DLC
I would probably
came
say
out.
you are probably correct with. That's what it was.
Please, I don't want to die.
It
Only
would be
have the one
exciting
life.
to know once you like finish it what happened.
Swing the remote or the nunchuck. Oh, I accidentally pressed A to not finish. Anywho, so I did that, but it got me thinking about something, and I wanted to bring it up here because I thought it was kind of an interesting conversation topic. So I am still very much in the opinion that the Epic Games Store is going to collapse at some point within the next like 5 or 6 years, right? Which is fine because that means it'll be around for longer than the Microsoft Store. But the reason I bring it up here is I bought it for I bought the DLCs for 60% off. Normally the DLCs are supposed to be like $16, but I bought it for $6, right? Would you buy? Oh well, shit! I didn't see that. Ah! Would you buy something, not even just DLC, but just buy something digitally with the knowledge that at some point, like, you are guaranteed to keep this item for at least 6 months, but then there is a non-0% chance that after 6 months it vanishes from your collection, like your library, with no warning? Would you still buy that thing if it had like a super huge discount?
The sorceress.
It depends on what it would be. Like, I'm just gonna give an example of like if it was like a really super giant big game, then I'll be like no, because the value of it disappearing outweighs like the value of when I bought it. But if it's like something smaller that like I finish and I play and I finish and I'm just like that was okay, and then it disappears, I'd have been like okay, that's fine.
So okay, so that's how that works. Oh hey, look at that. Okay. That was a full heal. Blue retro drink.
Heck yeah.
You have unlocked Sands of Time prints. The fuck does that mean?
Have you opened this before?
No.
Nice.
Master Spirit Hook, Whirlwind Uppercut. This is what I'm leveling up
Oh,
towards.
it's been unlocking. Okay, I get it. I see.
Oh my god, look at you can see the trail. where the pointer moves.
That's fun.
I feel like that's a fair thing. So like if you were buying, not that you would, but like if Elden Ring was sold at 80% off, but you only had a guarantee, because who knows, you might keep Elden Ring for 8 years, right? But you're only guaranteed 6 months.
Yeah, regardless, I don't like uncertainty. So me losing something,
I think that's fair.
nah.
Raheem wants to know
color
what color.
sure you make the eyes? I don't know. Zach, what color do you think of when you think of mayonnaise besides white?
Gray.
There you go. You got your answer, Raheem.
I think of piss yellow.
Ew. Gotta make it like that. Elden Ring. I think Elden Ring
because like Elden Ring's like a big game, right?
Yeah, it's a big game, and plus, like, if, you know, the feats it would take me to, like, beat it, right? I feel like I would... Why not, Raheem? A lot of, like, big cats have yellow eyes. You can go ahead and do yellow. Yeah, like, the value of me having that and, like, showing I've, like, beaten it is worth more than
outweighs the monetary
Yeah, I mean, and
savings.
plus, I would still, like, wait, you know, I could still get a, you know, maybe even a 40% off, right? That's still, like, nicer, but, like, value of keeping it.
Elden Ring is definitely the sort of thing that goes on sale, so yeah, that one makes sense. Because obviously, I asked this question in reference to the fact that I just bought the Control DLC without the guarantee that the Epic Game Store will be around forever, you know?
Yeah, it's Control on... Did you buy that also on Epic Games?
So so Control was for free a while back, so I didn't actually buy Control. I got it for free for their their holiday thing that they did. Am I insane? Can I not do this?
You should be able to land on that, right?
I'm trying to like climb up, but it's not letting me. Is this
Not...
Oh.
Oh. Okay. We made it, ladies and gentlemen. Despite our direction.
Okay, there you go. It will not let me go up. I have to go from pole to pole here, I guess. Yep, there's nothing going on there. Can I... Nope, I am locked to the 2D perspective here.
Is this something where you have to, like, do something stupidly weird, like point directly up when you're...
Oh, don't hold the direction.
Okay.
Okay, got it.
The idea of simply jumping on that made me feel really stupid for a second.
He just did that for some reason. Don't know why. Just like wholesale jumped there, so that was good.
He's a bold and daring prince.
I also don't remember how to roll. That's jump. I don't think I have a roll, actually.
You should. I remember you doing it. Remember that they were like to get through like doors and stuff?
Is it? It might be... Yeah, down on D-pad. Got it. Okay.
Okay, I'm glad I helped you. Remember that.
You did not. You helped
It was all
literally
me,
not at all.
You know, I literally did all of that. I actually pressed the button for you too.
The first time
me.
that Saba actually helped me, I think hell is gonna freeze over.
Oh, is that why I've been getting calls saying it's cold?
I'm about to say,
you?
it's fucking cold here.
That's funny.
Okay. Where the fuck am I going? This is where I was.
I think you're...
Wasn't I? Wasn't I
went
here?
across this thing?
Well, I mean, because I can go and then jump. Or not. Or I could just die. That works too. Thanks, game. I appreciate that.
Or not, you know?
Fucking Christ.
Yo, that was a pretty dope move.
This is where I was.
Can you jump up?
No.
Sorry, not in the thing. Weird. It must have, whatever it is, go across. Oh wait, do I hear? Oh, cat.
I would love for the camera to actually cooperate. All right, because this is what led to the menagerie, and it led me back to the menagerie, down. Okay, cool. I'm here again.
You want to just...
Did something
Hint?
change? Return to the gate of the... What the fuck is the gate of the chosen ones?
Did
All
you
right.
hint again here?
Well, I said... Well, I mean, this is the only way forward, so I guess I do have to go back?
Oh, so you see the... You can't just jump up there, right? On the white wall to the left?
No.
So you
There's
hint
nothing
again,
to-
hint again, hint again. Maybe hint again.
Turn to the gate of the chosen one.
Okay, so you are going in the right direction.
Sure. Nope. You can do... Oh. Ah. Hold nothing. Got it. Oh. Okay, this is like different. No! It did it again! It fucking did it again! The camera shifted, so me holding up on the analog stick means I am no longer climbing upwards. I am climbing to the left.
Well,
I hate this game so much. This game is bad. There you go. Fucking Christ. Okay.
okay. Ugh. No, don't say such a thing, Zach. No, I know you're in a tough place, Zach. Okay, I feel it, but you know you gotta be fair.
That does not feel good.
Nah, man. See, Zach is a little bit of like a tsundere, right? So
I am not.
whenever he says,
If you
whenever he
ever
says
fucking
something
call
like he
me a
hates it-
tsundere again, I'm gonna be unbelievably upset. Oh, cool.
Now,
the
I'm not
door
going to
locks.
say it
Got it.
outright, but this is a certain type of behavior that's common amongst.
It's a
That
common
feels
type
like
of it's a common type of behavior exhibited among people who are fucking exposed to horse shit. All right?
It's okay, Zach. It's okay. I understand what you mean.
Could we move any slower? I think that would help a lot if we moved even slower. Video game.
Oh,
I
look,
get
he
that
can
I get
push
that
it
it's
from
heavy.
multiple
I get that
directions.
it's
That's pretty
heavy.
good.
I get that it's heavy. But this
Where's that
sucks.
from?
And I hate you. Cool. Remember that thing that we did to get the beetles to move? All of that was just to get back here. What a dick.
You had to flush them all down the toilet. Less maps
Okay.
to make, you know? Just come back.
What is up with... Okay, so I guess I gotta go this way. Got it. Can I give you some inside baseball funny stuff that's been happening in League recently?
Or inside baseball.
Long story short, one of the coolest champions ever created in League had absolutely dog shit gameplay. for the past like 6 years. The person who initially designed their gameplay didn't understand what the character was, so they just gave them like just genuinely terrible gameplay. So last week they updated his gameplay finally, and guess what? Fucking sick. It's incredible. It's wonderful.
Oh, that's good.
Which is very good, right? The problem is that so the long and the short of it is that this guy's like a space dragon, and his whole thing is that when he damages,
I know what you're talking about.
Aurelian's
He's
soul.
kind of like a jerk. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's fucking super egotistical. And to be fair, of the beings that deserve to be egotistical, he probably makes sense because he made the galaxy that we live in. So I think that's fair. But anywho, so he's like a space dragon, and his new gameplay gimmick is that when he damages enemy champions, he collects stardust. The more stardust he has, the more powerful his abilities get, right? So the idea is that, you know how like a logarithmic curve is one that starts really quickly and then peters off, and then an exponential curve starts off small but then gets really big really quickly? It's kind of a mixture of both, is his scaling with the stardust. So right up until you get to about 50 stardust, he doesn't get that much benefit from it. But then between 50 and 200, he gets a lot of benefit. And then post 200, he doesn't get that much again, right? So it's like a whoop whoop sort of thing going on. Well, the people that made the algorithm to determine this apparently like hard coded in a lot of these numbers, and they didn't expect people to be able to get past 700 stardust. So as soon as you get past 700 stardust, it resumes being exponential again. So for example, his ultimate, when you he has this thing where it's like he just calls down a comet and it hits the earth, right? So it's a really cool looking move. When you upgrade it with stardust, instead of it being a regular comet, it's literally like an entire star falls from the sky and causes like a giant map-wide shockwave. It's super cool. But the radius of that ability is determined by how much stardust you have.
By stardust, so you basically can nuke the map with
more. So for example, a video came out today on the Reddit of because like I said, when you get to 700, it resumes being exponential again. So the guy had 810 stardust, which actually not that hard to do. Like it takes some time, but it's not hard to do. He fucking calls down Sky's Descend, his ultimate. And normally, it's supposed to be like an impact crater that deals a fuck ton of damage, and then an impact wave that deals less. The exponential scaling meant that the impact crater was the entire map. Literally every single enemy on the entire map took like 8,000 magic damage all at once, and the guy got a fucking pentakill. And I was like, dude, I fucking love Aurelian Soul so much, dude. And it's a crying shame because they
had to nerf it.
Well, not even just nerf, like they're fixing him. Like right now he is disabled. You cannot play him, and I don't know. It just breaks my heart because it's like, man, that's so appropriate for the champion though. Just doing some horse shit like that. So anywho, that was the thank you, Zahara.
That seems pretty funny.
Yeah.
He talks a big game too with his like voice lines and stuff. So he can't execute.
Are you ready, Targon? And then fucking star comes out of nowhere, fucking boom, blows up the universe. It's so good. One of his new abilities is that he can summon a black hole, and the idea is that when an enemy dies in the black hole, he gets stardust from it. So it's like, okay, this is your primary way of like farming stardust, right? But they have this thing where the more stardust you have, there's like a suction area that deals damage, and then the actual black hole itself will execute enemies below a certain threshold, certain health threshold, right? But that goes up with your stardust. So like for me, when I play him, I get to, like, by the late game, I get to about 500 stardust because I'm not really farming all that efficiently. But at 500 Stardust, fucking, I want to say the execution threshold is like 26%. So effectively, all enemies, while in this black hole, have 26% less health than they normally would, and just instantly blow up and die. And I'm like, oh, God, nut. Fucking love it.
Oh my god.
I love just summoning a black hole and walking away and watching myself get a quadra kill for free. It's so good. One of his other moves is... Oh, this is a boss arena. Thank you, video game. Very cool.
Ah, yes, indeed.
Ow, Jesus. One of his other moves is Cosmic Breath, where he does like your typical dragon thing of like breathing fire in a direction, but he can channel it for a period of time determined by the amount of Stardust he has, right? And the secondary effect of this breath is that if he kills something with the breath, he gets some mana back, because it costs mana to like keep using this over time. What the... Oh, cool. Does that mean all the enemies are gone? Hey, I killed the commander. Good on me, Zach. I definitely did that on purpose.
Good job. You remembered the mechanics of the game.
I definitely didn't just focus the archer because he would be the most annoying. Anyway, long story short, while casting the Cosmic Breath, all you have to do is make sure that the breath is kind of angled, so you are hitting like champions with it, but then also like killing a minion or two along the way. Because when you kill a minion, let's say it costs 10 mana per second to cast this ability. That means that after 3 seconds, that's like 30 mana, right? But killing a unit with the breath refunds 20 mana. So
you can just keep going.
So if over the course of 3 seconds I kill 2 minions, which is not hard, I have generated mana. You know what I mean? It's like, he's gonna get nerfed so hard, it's gonna break my heart. But for right now, I love him so much. All right, what's this? Is this a boss?
Tendril stretches all the way back to the gardens.
We must find a way to damage it, but without the help of the blade,
Gardens of endless
we do not know
blossoming.
it's possible.
It's always possible, Zara. What humans lack in magic, we make up for in determination.
So I am learning, my prince.
Sahara, please stop.
Doors, but only
Although I don't like how fleshy that flower was.
Greenhouse, my prince.
Nope. Trying to... This is a fountain. There you go. Sorry. I hate to keep doing this. Can I give you one more about the update to the guy? Just because, like, obviously I'm, like, so giddy and I'm just thinking about it in my mind. So, old Aurelian Soul, old Space Dragon, had this one move that was baffling. Like, beyond baffling in terms of design. So... the idea with the old design was that you would have to walk in the same direction for an extended period of time, and then if you walked in the same direction for long enough, you could take to the skies and fly across the map, right? Not a bad idea. You're essentially like taking off like a plane. You can fly over terrain and stuff like that, and it gives you a larger like vision radius to see where you're going. And it's like, okay, that's not necessarily the worst idea ever. But the problem was that the amount of time that you had to like run up before taking off meant that by the time you took off, you were already like 1/3 of the way to your destination. And it's like, why lock myself into this singular flight path when I can just walk the rest of the way?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't really make much sense. So they kind of kept it in his new kit because it's a really cool visual, right? This fucking big space dragon flying overhead. So it's a cool visual, and they were like, well, how can we make this, like, better? Like, how can we make this make sense? So now, you don't have to do a run-up. You can just cast it, and you go in a direction. It's much shorter, but you can cast it and go in a direction. And while flying, you can cast that cosmic breath that I was talking about. It still costs mana, but it ticks much quicker while you're flying. So you do this fucking like dragon flyby where you're just like going over the heads of like 2 or 3 enemies, just like just like fucking annihilating them, and then you just keep going. You just keep moving forward, and it's
Good
like
that they still managed to incorporate it then.
well, because it's like it's one of those things where it's like they spend a lot of time getting the visuals to look really good in the old design, so it's like, well, we're not just gonna throw that out, right? And it's like, I'm glad they didn't. It's not his best move. His best move is still the black hole, but at the same time, like, congratulations, guys, you guys did great.
Very well done.
The list of champions that need like a gameplay update is getting incredibly short, and I'm very happy to admit that. That guy has armor. Is this just a case of hit him more? Does he just have more health?
Probably.
It appears as if that is correct. Just hit him more. Okay, cool. Thank you, game. Very cool. It's just
Remember,
the guy.
they were limited back then, okay? They were trying their best.
What are you talking about?
They were trying their best
This
back,
came
okay?
out after the PS2.
They were trying their best.
They were limited back then. Oh my god. Oh, I'm dead. I died. I'm getting shot by arrows. Cool. All right.
Well, I mean, you died, so, you know.
I did die. Definitely wasn't a contributing factor of me just wiggling my wrist to do combat. God, a Prince of Persia game with like Dark Souls combat. Oh.
Enormous roots in step
I would love any, like, you know, Prince of Persia game.
Place to
And,
sever.
like, more. Like, if they
I
made
mean,
more.
I mentioned this to Grant yesterday, but there's this Twitter that I follow on occasion called Did You, or sorry, not Did You Know, Saved You a Click Video Games, where the guy just like he just tells you what clickbait articles are, so you don't have to actually like go into them.
Okay.
And 2 days before the direct, he was there were rumors going on about how like, oh, there are rumors of a new Professor Layton game coming out, right? And he got so snarky. He was like, guys, it's been 10 years since the last Professor Layton game. Get over it. You guys are being baited so hard. You guys are being
he's being
baited
baited.
so hard. And
He got served.
And he got served because it was true. And I'm just thinking
He
about
made
that.
an apology video. He started crying.
He
being like,
definitely
"I'm sorry,
did
guys."
not. But but I just think about that in your like in terms of your thing of like, oh man, I really wish that there would be like another Prince of Persia game. I'm just thinking about it like me being
I mean,
like,
to be
there will
honest-
never be another Prince of Persia game, never in a million years, and then like tomorrow they announce a new one.
If you think about it, I'm pretty sure you could do a lot with the IP.
Well, because as far as I'm aware, I guess at the moment I think that Assassin's Creed Mirage is essentially just going to be Prince of Persia.
Oh, well, that's more like Baghdad and like, you know, it's like adjacent, I guess. But if you're talking about gameplay, I mean, the original Assassin's Creed is like basically very close. So if you're talking like that, then I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. But I mean, like, it doesn't have to be like the same mechanic. But I'm like, you could do like
there's fucking Spike
a lot of
Bush.
cool stuff. I feel like with the IP of Prince of
Wrong.
Persia, and
There's never
like,
been anything
expand
cool
it.
with Prince of. This is like you dying, dude.
Regardless, it's just me being like, bro,
Prince of Persia.
it's so it could be it holds a lot of like probably cool stories to tell.
in a way, I almost fucking Christ. In a way, I would almost classify Prince of Persia as a puzzle platforming series, because for the most part, like, because Assassin's Creed is about environmental platforming, right? Where it's like an open world and you're going across. Whereas so far in both of the Prince of Persia games that we've played, it's here's a big level, make your way through by doing some like basic platforming, and that's not bad. It's just not the same, right? Because we keep talking about
it's inspired off of it, right?
Well,
Not,
that's
like,
and I'm realizing that more and more, because obviously you had already played this, whereas I hadn't, and it was and I'm looking at it now, and it's like, actually, Assassin's Creed, I can clearly see where the DNA came from, but this is a different series.
Yeah. And that's where I'm like, there's
this
potential
series
for
doesn't have any
more.
pirate ships in it, so I don't really like it.
Yeah,
as much.
that's what I think. By that point, they started like getting their own identity pretty well. Assassin's Creed, so to the point where they've regressed for Mirage and are trying to go back.
Well, so and once again, this is like a conversation between people who actually like follow industry stuff or whatever. But like, one of the things that I find, I'm alive. One of the things that I find kind of interesting about Mirage is that at the same time they announced Assassin's Creed. I think it's like Assassin's Creed Shinobi or something like that.
Yeah, it's the one set in Japan.
Yeah, it's the one set in Japan, which is hilarious because there's been a long-standing like joke, I guess, within the games industry of if the Assassin's Creed series ever goes to Japan, you know that it's dying.
Why?
Because he's not the creative director anymore, but like the original creative director of the first three. Oh, it's a big fucking blade. Disgusting. Oh, okay. That thing's gonna be a boss. I look forward to that. Sorry, to finish my thought. The original director of the first three Assassin's Creeds, and I think there was like 2 spin-off games during that time too, said that what was saying like, Assassin's Creed is about X, Y, and Z. We will most likely never go to Japan, despite like, fans really clamoring for it, because we would rather make a different game. Right?
Okay.
Like if it would, because it's just like doing Shinobi nonsense is like a different game.
Yeah, versus like the Assassins are more like European-ish.
Well, not even just like theme, because you can make theme out of anything. It was more like, I think he was more talking about how like for Shinobi it's a lot more agile, a lot more like stealthy, where like, yeah, these are assassins and whatnot, but like, I don't know. Could you imagine like a Shinobi with like a wrist blade and not like kunai and stuff? I mean, I guess you could still have kunai and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They very much have their own like identity, and it's it kind of clashes with like the way they built up the assassins to be. So I get what you're saying.
And so you compare that to what Assassin's Creed has been recently with like Assassin's Creed Origins and Odyssey and Valhalla, right? Where those are barely the Assassin's Creed games anymore. Where it's like, oh, okay, so now you're gonna do Mirage to harken back to Prince of Persia-ish, and then you're gonna do Shinobi, and then that's gonna be like a half decent seller, and then you're probably gonna move on to something else.
It'll be interesting to see what they do, for sure.
I'm trying to think, does Ubisoft have anything that's worth a damn at this point that's not Assassin's Creed? I guess Far Cry kinda, but it would be Far Cry 9, I think, is the next one. So I don't know, maybe they should dedicate to more new IPs.
New IP,
That's disgusting. I hate this thing. This puff flower is revolting, genuinely. Cool. Thanks, game. Love it.
You're probably good. That feels
I don't know why I did that.
Yeah.
I thought it would explode much quicker than that, but no, it just kind of like goes, stays for a full second, then explodes. All right, well, that's how it be sometimes. Oh, and there's a flower pointing at this fucking thing.
If any at any point, because like sometimes I get when it comes to like writing like stuff in terms of like if I were to think about like making a game, right? Because you know how like as the wind blows is, right? In terms of like what types of characters there are and all of that, right?
Sure.
So like to a certain degree, right? In my mind, it's like, oh well, I don't want to be the person who writes about like I don't want to. You know what I mean when I mean like by myself, like culturally and blah blah blah.
I mean, sure, but
I just want to make sure you understand what I'm saying when I say that. So it's like I don't want to be the person to like that's like overly obsessed with just doing like X, which is like that. And so that's why I'm like, okay, well the first thing I did was as the wind blows was like to make it like not that. But it's like in my mind I'm like, you know what? No, like the next if I do anything like the next time, I'm like, what the hell? Why not? Like I don't see that many of those types of characters to begin with, you know. And to maybe make like a game surrounding that and maybe some like fun mythos or fun tales, I think would be really dope.
I think it could be worth it.
Yeah, and it's just like, you know, it's getting over like it could be potentially like my own like insecurity about like not wanting to be like I don't even know what it would be, right? Or like not wanting to be like, oh, you're so obsessed with like yourself and like your own stuff, like you need to branch out. And I'm like, well, I've already done that, so you can shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that should be fun.
Thank you. Very
I'd like
cool.
to see if we could eventually do, like, the more and more that I like. I would like there to be like, you know, something that comes out of As the Wind Blows. Of course, everyone's like each doing their own stuff and everything like that, and that's fine. I just like I would like to see it like. I would like to see something that we've all like worked hard to be like completed, or like to have something worth it, and at least that's what like we're doing partially with Florence and like the webtoon. But like I mean, you helped me. We spent a long time like discussing, you know, mechanic ideas or like, you know, sequencing and timing of events, and it's just like, man, I don't want that to go to waste. It would be nice.
Yeah.
You made it. Good job. But we shall see. I don't know. I think you may have been there when I was talking about like potentially starting to talk about it again, and like, because I think I'm still sometimes I have a hard time.
But I guess my thing is I don't know who you think is going to be able to like help you with this. Is the thing.
Well, we've already had like a decent like chunk of stuff, but like what I was saying
in
is
terms
that,
of design, but I mean like if you're trying to make like I once again think that you should really consider, once again as a project manager, you should reconsider like what you have access to, and maybe you should just go not whole hog, but like go for the visual novel
you know
route,
what's great, Zach? If you didn't interrupt me, I would have actually said basically what you're saying. But
yeah,
you
well,
know,
there you go. Perfect.
what I was saying before was that I think I still have trouble really understanding the scope of how things work. And the more and more I like go, because I think at first I had convinced myself I don't think visual novel could have worked, just because everything I had seen was so harken on like not what I was looking for. But like with luckily like, you know, oh, those are giant saw blades. With me like discovering like the Cafe Eda and stuff like that, I think that really opened a window of like, no, it could be what I'm looking for. I guess I didn't look enough and I didn't find enough of what I wanted. So I had like pushed the idea out of my head. But yeah, definitely something more manageable that could still, and like the more I think about it, I still think it could still deliver most of what I want, you know? Maybe design wise, it's just in a simpler, more easily executed way.
The vast majority of like interest for your game would come from the narrative.
Yeah.
Which does not require an entire like Unity project to be made for it, right? So yeah, I don't know. I said it before, and I'm glad that you're reconsidering, but I do think that As the Wind Blows would work a lot better as a visual. So,
and
I
that's
look
fine,
forward
right?
to seeing that.
And it's just me like learning how stuff works and like right and what you're saying is she was like the design stuff that I put all the effort into is really relies on whether or not like you know it's like if statements, if the player does this, if the player does that, doesn't do that, and it's like you can still have all of that stuff. It just requires the player to, instead of walking around, just click to go places, and to a certain degree you can have technically even
Sorry.
you can have technically even more like maybe detail in the art this time. You just don't have as much art, right? So it's like you swap things out for each other. So like pros and cons, right?
Yeah. But I don't even know if there are necessarily much cons, to be perfectly frank with you, because it's like, would you really have hypothetically gotten that much out of walking around the town?
Dying, but not dead.
I think the only thing in my mind
If
that we lose is a
anything,
little bit
depending on
of engagement with the player, but I don't know how much.
Funny enough, I was just about to say, I don't
I
think that the
know,
people.
Zach, if only you stop interrupting me, I can
No,
speak.
I'm gonna keep interrupting you.
How dare you?
I agree, or like I kind of I like the type of person who would be interested in As the Wind Blows. I think they would be more frustrated by the fact of like having to walk from like location to location, as opposed to like just clicking on a button to go there.
The locations I don't think would have been that big to begin with.
Then why have them?
Because it would have, I still would have liked the idea of having like moving parts, right? Where it's like you're walking, but then like, oh, you see people chatting as well. They may be standing still, but there's like tiny animations of people chatting or people walking in the forefront or something like that. But yeah, we don't really have the capable resources to do that. So I just have to detach from what I am seeing in my head and say, like, even if I can't have that, like the idea of a visual novel is not like worse, you know? Like we could still execute something pretty nice.
There are a lot of great visual novels out there. As the Wind Blows could be enough.
That would be nice. Oh, the dawn of mayonnaise. Oh, Raheem has returned with Mayo Cat.
Fascinating.
Anywho, that'll be interesting to see where that goes.
4. Funny enough, it is the 4th one that I did.
Wow.
Oh, cool. Attacking vines this time. Much better than the stupid fucking other one.
So many plans.
I can't see anything.
Oh, nice moves.
Thank you.
Oh, you sent it. The cat's turned into a full person. Very well done, Raheem. There's a lot of mayo too. That is what, 6 times the love of mayo. Let's see if I can find.
God, really? Another round?
I'm just gonna give you a white, large square as my reaction.
White square. Oh,
Mayo.
that was the leader. Got it. You, Raheem,
Yo,
very cool.
you got counterattack.
Swing the nunchuck while holding Z to counter an incoming enemy attack. I will probably actually use that, if I can remember. I do end up hitting Z quite.
I didn't forget the one on the t-shirt, Raheem, for sure. That is your art style, after all.
That seems like progress. What's this one? Nothing. Good to know. Remember when Sabo was bitching that the last game all took place in one palace?
I know, but technically we
And
started
now we're in
outside the palace.
we're just in the same palace but with plants this time.
We technically started outside the palace here, right?
And then where have we been for the past like 6 hours? In a palace? In a ruined palace? Yes.
But if you recall, Zach, I told you that I remember at the start of the game just being outside, right? That's all I gave you. I didn't remember the rest of the game. I just remember being outside at the start of this game.
Oh,
I like you where he was saying he said the naughty word and it just says it right out loud. You just type it out.
Bitch word.
Oh, nice. Good job, Zach.
Okay.
That was fun.
That was fun.
Oh. There we go. It's like, am I supposed to land on that? Is that soft? Dude, what the hell? That was an entire section? That was so much easier than the last one. There we go.
Don't you just love the rupturing vine?
Gross. It's a lot of chlorophyll.
Do you like the idea of like
No.
people drinking from a fountain? Not like a water
you mean
fountain.
like that? Like a water
like a
display?
fountain. Yeah.
No.
Just drink water.
I mean, I don't know how it would be back during this time. I'm assuming it would be comparable, but I know that most like public water features nowadays are recycled gray water systems, which is very bad to drink. It's why you're not supposed to drink from sprinklers and stuff, you know?
Well done, my prince.
It fell away. It's not a boss fight?
We should return.
It was just a giant.
I could have fucking sworn.
But you didn't, and that makes you a good little boy that doesn't swear. Never. He grew up so fast.
Yeah. Oh, it's loading the next zone. Okay, got it. Not gonna lie, that was a lot of mechanics that they just introduced like in a row. I'm worried that those mechanics are gonna make a return.
And Zach will not remember them.
Well, not even not remember them, just that they were really annoying to deal with. There we go. Yo.
You?
Grant was, because I talked a little bit about the direct yesterday with Grant, and one of the things that he mentioned being excited for, I was like, I don't even remember that game being announced. He was talking about Fantasy Life, so I went and looked it up this morning. It was the one that I was like, that's a Saba game. While we were watching, it was apparently it's like the latest in an ongoing series of very popular like life sim games. And I was like, okay, whatever you say. I've never heard of it before.
Whatever you say, all I know is that's a Saba game.
It's still definitely a Saba game.
I've already threw it in that classification and then forgot about it because it's in that classification to begin with.
Correct.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah, you and I differ
understand.
on enjoying that type of game, and that's okay. Okay, listen, would you ever play a digital card game like Slay the Spire? No.
I thought you were about to like say, because I'm like, I played Hearthstone. So I played Hearthstone. I don't know what you're asking me here.
Yeah, but
Zach.
Hearthstone sucked.
That's why I said played. I made it
and
past
also,
tense.
you played like a little bit. You played enough for me to be mad at how much you played it.
Well,
Prescribed path, my prince.
Then I will create one.
Why are we here again? we're
we
in this
basically
palace.
had to put these statues together in order to like get.
No. But I mean,
through to,
like in the
thing.
palace itself. Like we're here. So this is supposed to
There
like
was a
hypothetically.
cursed thing.
This
Yeah.
is supposed to be our kingdom. We're supposed to marry a princess. That's why we were brought here.
Yeah.
But our current objective is we have to get to the heart of the palace to fight a plant witch.
Yeah, and because she's like, yeah, this place was a palace that they almost showed up and like cursed it and blah blah blah. So in order to get your castle and kingdom, you gotta like rescue it first, basically. The witch just basically, not the witch, the genie just found free manual labor, you know?
Oh, and you can only do one at a time. Okay. Oh, these are the pedestals they're supposed to be on.
Oh.
I didn't. Okay. Okay. There you go. Sure. Down, I can make that work. Left, I can make that work again. That's an up, I can make that work. A right. A down. Left. And up. There you go.
Oh, that was pretty cool.
Oh my god. He's cross-eyed.
Beyond are the outer walls of the palace. But be careful. A perilous path
Are the
lies-
outer walls? Outer walls? How much more is there?
Where exactly did we say we needed to go here? We needed to find her, right?
We needed to get I vaguely remember the genie saying something along the lines of like she's in the heart of the palace. The evil plant witch, which is why I'm so flabbergasted at after all this time, we're only to the outer walls.
We're only halfway there.
We're not even halfway there.
Whoa!
That's horseshit. I should be able to read that.
I could have also made the "we're only a third of the way there" joke.
We're only a third of the way through the game.
True.
I will say though, I know I said something like this already, but like I was already having like difficulty editing the Ghost Trick VOD because man, there's a lot of time of us just not saying much. Despite the fact that we were trying to do like a fully voice acted playthrough or whatever, there was a long time where it was kind of just me trying to figure out a puzzle where Adrian was just kind of like coughing into the mic. But I have to watch all of it because who knows? You know, even at like 1.5 times speed, that's still like 30 hours that I have to watch to edit this fucking highlight reel. But
That was a long time.
it's a little disheartening knowing that the HD re-release is coming out.
No, because you're just like, I mean, or it could be great where you release it.
And people are actually interested in the game.
Yeah, like we played the original version. Here's the highlight reel.
You know what? That's a good spin, Saba. I like that actually. Who knows?
There you go.
That'd be incredible if that was like the modicum of success that my channel sees. The one highlight reel from Explorers of Sky and the one highlight reel from Ghost Trick.
Make sure
and then
to
also promote it to customer.
and then make sure to put that on like the Reddit or something as well. I don't remember. You put the
There's
Pokemon
definitely
somewhere.
not a Ghost Trick Reddit, but I appreciate the thought.
Are you sure? Are you sure they're not going to come out, especially with the new one?
You know what? Good point. Maybe there would be. It is really funny though, just talking about Ghost Trick because there's obviously there's people who know that Ghost Trick is incredible, right? And one of the prevailing sentiments that I've been seeing is from people in the know who are like, go Shu Takumi. It's the best game Shu Takumi has ever made. I know people like Ace Attorney 1 and 3, and I like them too, but I promise you Ghost Trick is better. And thinking on it, I think they're right. I think Ghost Trick is better.
Ghost Trick was pretty phenomenal. I think, in a way, Ace Attorney is like it's like a meme, right? Where it's like all the characters are their like own thing, and so the quality of it's like it's great because of how like funny and like goofy everyone is and how iconic everything is as well.
Like, it should be noted
like,
that I don't
yeah.
think like I would say that like the Ace Attorney trilogy is obviously brought down by Ace Attorney 2, but like the initial trilogy I would still say is like an 8 out of 10, right? But Ghost Trick is a 9 out of 10. Just alone, just by itself, is a 9 out of 10. Great character designs, great dialogue, much more interesting to play. I don't know if you agree, but because you didn't actually get to play it, but like it had actual stuff to do in the environment, whereas in Ace Attorney, it's like first you play a seek and find, and then you play a guessing game.
Well, Ghost Trick is more like a mathematic formula where it's like a Rube Goldberg machine, right? So it's like when things happen, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. And then sometimes, as you said, for Ace Attorney, it's more like a word game. Ace Attorney, it's more like a word game, right? Where you have to guess why something's like that, and sometimes you're just like, nah, but that's what the game apparently decided on with its logic.
Because the writer had like a very specific thing in mind for the salute. Oh my god, that's a giant vine out there. I don't like that. The writer had a very specific thing in mind for the solution to this puzzle, and if you don't figure that out quickly, you'll end up just kind of doing trial and error, which is never a good thing.
I don't know, Zach. A trial is, the point of the game.
Once again, I do think it's hilarious that the Ace Attorney fan game is called Trial and Error, because that should definitely be the name of one of the Ace Attorney games. That being said, once again, fucking Ace Attorney 7 is hypothetically supposed to be on the horizon, I guess, but who knows. And that being said, we never played 4, 5, and 6.
Ooh.
And I do want to play them. Am I just supposed to jump?
I think you're supposed to wall run. Yeah.
Oh, right. That's why the blade's there. Got it.
Yeah.
There we go. Double Minotaur. Fun.
Something about flying?
Yeah!
Push him off! I think you could do that!
He exploded!
He exploded instead, dang. Goodbye.
Holy shit, Sabu was right. You can't just push him off.
I was like, I thought I remember that happening at a certain point prior, so.
Oh. Fucking Bowser's Castle vibes. Let's go. Oh, instant death. Got it. I thought maybe it would just hurt me.
I mean, it did.
What if I jump? Well, I mean, that is literally true.
Oh, what's up here? Can you turn around?
I think it's just a quicker way to get through this without the risk of death.
Oh, you're lucky. That could have been bad.
What do you mean lucky? I was looking. I was looking for the rock so I could land on it.
I'm happy you got lucky. Thank you.
I'm gonna fucking.
Wait if I do that again.
Oh, big arena. Okay. Oh. Hello.
Wow. Okay.
You know me. I like it when a woman is made out of vines.
Uh-huh. That's why you definitely like your #1 favorite babe is Poison Ivy.
I don't know, man. You say that as a joke, but like.
Oh no, I'm.
Poison Ivy from the Harley Quinn cartoon is fucking pretty choice. Are you taking damage from this, or are you just dodging? Oh, you're dead. Okay, cool.
Are you getting hurt, or are you just playing hard to get? Come on, tell me which one's which.
Dude, I can't tell if I'm hurting this bitch. I think I see green coming out of her. And also she's healing them, which is frustrating. Okay, cool. Got it. I was hurting her. It just takes a while. You know what? I'll talk about this with you because it's always funny when we have this kind of conversation. And I won't take it too far, but I mentioned yesterday on stream to Grant, because I know that he loves the show, that the Harley Quinn Valentine's Day special is now available.
Happened? Yeah.
Right, and it's really good. It's genuinely a great Valentine's Day special. Not only just within the context of the show, but just in general for Valentine's Day. But I will say, man, one or multiple of the writers on that show definitely have a giant fetish. Like a fetish for like giants or whatever, because the last one that released around Valentine's Day had Poison Ivy turn into a 60-foot tall woman, and then in the Valentine's Day special, Bane turns into a giant horny version of himself who literally fucks buildings to demolish them. And I'm like, listen, once is a funny coincidence, twice is a pattern.
Yeah. I can see it too.
Genuinely, no judgment, but you have to tell me if you're a cop, you know?
Okay.
Like, this is entrapment. If you don't, you need to tell me up front, do you have a giant fetish? If you do, that's fine.
That's fine. I just need to know.
You just need to tell me.
For educational purposes, okay?
For educational purposes. Oh. Nice. That seems not right. So I can use this to get up there, obviously, and this is where it was, so maybe that's just where I'm supposed to go. Sorry. I will say there was another part from the Valentine's Day special that was hilarious. So you know who Bane is, obviously, right? Like from the DC villains. Yeah. So Bane's a big dude, big muscular dude, right? Part of his like side story, I guess, for the what the hell? Let's give me the hint. Bring the stone pedestal to the pressure plate. What the fuck? Oh,
you have to put it on.
Oh, okay. I put it on that. Oh, and then the thing. Okay, I understand.
He understands.
So Bane's like a big guy, right? Part of his like side story or subplot for the Valentine's Day special was that he didn't have a date on Valentine's Day because he has so many turnoffs, and but they're all like not pathetic, but like they're all really specific. Right?
Okay.
So like, for example, one of his like really big turnoffs is when people use improper grammar and stuff. So like, that's like a big deal for him, is like, come on, it's not always, it's always. Like, that's how that like, or sorry, not always, anyways, because anyways with an S is like grammatically incorrect, and he gets like really bent out of shape about it. And it's like, you know, it's funny, haha, right? But so anyway, the long and the short of it is that he accidentally gets invited to a BDSM session with a dominatrix, and you know, because he looks like he's wearing a gimp suit, right? And the dominatrix
Okay, I'll give you a second. Okay, well.
My soul just left my body. Okay, well, I gotta put the pedestal back now. Anyway, sorry. the dominatrix, essentially, she shares a lot of the same interests and grievances as he does. Like, she even mentions how, like, grammar is, like, a big turnoff for her and stuff like that. So it's like, oh, this is going really well, right? So after the session is over, she's like, hey, big guy, why don't you come back to my apartment and we'll enjoy the rest of our Valentine's Day together? And he's like, oh, I would love to. And she, like, leans in and she's like, and I'm so excited to see what kind of a monster you're packing in there. And Bane suddenly starts going, well, you know, it should be noted it is perfectly average, and even for somebody of my size, it's still good, I promise. And she goes like, oh,
Wow.
You're just being coy, right? The joke being that he has a decently sized penis, but because he's such a large dude, it looks small.
Oh, okay.
Like, that's the joke, you know, and it's like, haha, funny. But at the same time, so he does this thing where, like, he's immediately like, I gotta immediately figure out how to resolve this issue. So he goes to this magic shop, runs up to the counter, and is like, please, you have to give me something in order to help with and the guy's like, increase the size of your dick. And he's like, yes, how did you know? And he's like, it's Valentine's Day. Where do you think 99% of our business has been coming from for today? And it's like, oh, that's so good.
Pretty funny.
You know, and that's funny in and of its own right, I would say. But and I'll finish this off before I do this thing, since clearly timing is involved. So he's like, anyway, here you go. Here's what you're looking for. Just take like a swig of this, and for, you know, the next however long, you'll be properly endowed. And he's like, excellent. How much do I owe you? And the guy goes, it's 4 payments of $199.99 each. And Bane immediately, like, quick as lightning, pulls out his credit card and goes, take my money.
Wow.
And it's, I don't know, it's a really...
That's how they make their money, Zach.
No, but I mean, like, it's a
good.
really hilarious joke, because I can't tell you that's a good deal.
Oh, is it?
It is.
Oh my god.
For what the magic potion was offering, that's not bad. $800 to semi-permanently increase the size of your dick? I can't tell you how many guys would pay through the nose for that, you know?
Okay.
Oh, it's so good, man. Oh, it's moving so slowly. Excuse you?
I'm gonna feel this for a long time.
I don't know where the pedestal is. Okay. I was worried, so I didn't do the thing. I'll just bring it back again. I guess it's moving so slowly because they want me to go around the horn the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, that show's probably not your speed, but
Definitely
show.
not, but I can understand from, like,
it's very violent.
someone with your humor, probably.
With my humor.
Yeah.
Paying to win dicks. Hey, Raheem, you're right. I don't know, man. It was a good joke. It, like I said, clearly written by somebody who understands. who understands the male condition in the modern day. Can the camera please stop fucking me? God damn it.
Maybe it too needs that magic potion for the camera. Because clearly
Camera
you're having
needs
an
to be
unpleasant time.
bigger? Is that what you're trying? Is that what you're trying to say? I don't understand.
Well, clearly, by what you just said, you were having an unpleasant experience with it. So I was like, you know, who knows? Maybe if it had that potion, it could get better.
So something that is bigger is a more pleasurable experience, is what you're telling me?
I don't know.
So keep in
I was
mind,
just going
boys
off
and
of your-
girls, Saba is now on record as saying size matters.
No, I was just saying it could be helpful for you, Zach, because you
For
clearly
me,
expressed
so
you
you're
were...
saying I have a tiny cock.
No, you were just saying.
Then what are you saying, Saba? You
were
need to
just
think
saying-
about what you're saying.
The thing is, I don't want to cuss, but you were like, oh, like to
I
the
don't
camera.
wanna
You're like
cuss.
the camera
She
F's
can't
me, and I'm
have
just
this
like,
conversation because it
I
might involve
can't.
cussing.
It's too
Oh
difficult
my
for
God,
me.
that's
You know, I'm
so
just gonna
good.
give up. I'm just gonna stop trying. Clearly, it's not working out for me to like explain to you. It's okay.
Oh my God.
I shouldn't be this type of comedian anyway. And I'm not trying to say anything about anyone
My
specifically.
boy's dick. Thanks, Raheem. I appreciate the moral support. Oh my-
Ultimately, I was talking about the camera, but you know, it's okay.
Fucking, it might be more useful to you, Zach.
No, not to you for like the camera to take it.
Oh my God,
we
the
need to
fucking
stop.
labyrinthine conversation
my
where
God.
Saba's ultimate takeaway was Zach needs a potion to make his dick
No,
bigger.
I didn't say you needed it.
That's what you said.
No,
You said it might
Zach,
be more
you-
useful to
because-
you. That's what
Zach,
you said.
Zach. Okay, Zach, I'll say this plainly. You, because of the camera turning, were frustrated because you were like, oh, why is this like messing with me, right? But you said more in explicit, you know, language. And so I was like, oh, clearly you're not having a great time with the camera doing this
because
to
I
you,
said
Zach,
the
so
camera
maybe
was
the cam.
fucking me.
Yes.
Oh,
That is where this came
and now I
from.
understand why you said, okay, okay, so
Yes.
I'm gay. That's what you're saying. We're talking about a potion that makes your dick bigger, and you're like, "Oh, this is useful for Zach."
I had to work
Because
with the
it's
material I
fucking you.
had. I had to work with the material. See, I wasn't talking about you, Zach.
Holy shit,
I'm glad
dude.
we've come to an understanding. Well,
or at least bisexual.
true, yeah.
Holy
There you go,
crap.
Raheem. No need to get angry. You know, there's no need to be angry at me.
What this stream has come to is actually is honestly shocking. Like I knew that the Harley Quinn Valentine's Day special would be worth talking about. I didn't expect Saba to demonstrate picture perfect foot in mouth.
See, I think at a certain point I realized I knew you had forgotten what you had said, so I was like, oh no, this is just bad.
Because
I can't say it directly.
because I didn't know that I do. You're right, because I didn't remember that I said that the camera was fucking me.
Yeah. So
Oh my
I
God.
was like, I'm having a tough time here trying to re-explain what you said.
Holy shit, that was so good.
The gods believe.
will not help either.
Oh man, I kind of want that to be clipped. The part where you finally understand.
It's probably too long for it to be clipped.
No, the
Giggity.
part where you finally understand what I said. That I think that.
But that's not
the
going to make
moment.
sense out of context. That's a bad clip.
Enough now.
But it's all okay. Whatever. Fine.
Now, only droplets.
Okay.
Wait, you want it for just you?
And you.
What do you mean, and
And
me? I don't even
Raheem.
remember what the fuck we're talking about.
Exactly. It's
Now
also
I'm just
part.
thinking about big dicks.
Okay. See, I stopped over. You're still on this train.
Oh, it's so good.
Well, that was a
It's so
very
funny.
hearty laugh.
Oh, it's so good. No one was
I'm glad
talking
I,
about Mayo. You were talking about Mayo, Raheem, and you're
We
not
talked about
somebody.
Mayo with the cat. That's what happened with that.
That was a different conversation.
You haven't actually seen the stuff on because you've been
I
playing.
haven't.
So.
I am playing a video game.
Yeah, I know.
The thing that allows me to stream on Twitch. Because unfortunately, my tits are not big enough for that. You know what? There is actually something kind of pseudo relevant to that. That was funny. There's this guy on Twitch. He has like a decently sized following. He had this thing where as like a subscriber milestone reward, it was like, hey, I'll dress as a girl. right, for 2 months or whatever.
Stress.
And then
Okay.
for every excuse me, and then for every milestone after that, he was going to extend dressing as a woman for an additional like month, right? But
I mean, okay. It's just some
him
clothes.
cross-dressing became so
For him.
popular that I believe as the last time I checked, I believe the current, like to this day, by the way, he started like 9 months ago. So today, or not as of today, but like as of the last time I checked, he has another 16 months to go.
Wow.
His channel has exploded because of this, right? But then
Hopefully
the
he hasn't like
milestone,
trapped himself in like
yeah, he
this.
essentially trapped himself in dressing as a woman, right? For over like 2 years at this point.
I mean, I
but
hope
then
he's okay.
the milestone,
Okay.
no, well, let me get there.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
milestones have gotten more intense, where now he wears like a female bodysuit, so he has like cleavage and
Wow.
all that stuff. So it's like fully, like on camera, looks like a woman, right? Has not had any sort of like identity crisis because of this. He's like, yeah, I'm still a dude, and these clothes are fine, so it's cool. And
Okay.
and it's one of those
Bullshit.
things where it's like it's just a good time, right? It's just like a funny joke that went a little bit too far, but he's not regretting it, right? 3 weeks ago, I want to say, he had a problem with the bodysuit, and he had to readjust his breasts on the bodysuit in order to make the outfit look better. But because he had been female presenting on stream for so long,
People didn't realize.
no,
he was
the auto moderator that automatically like looks at your footage had reclassified him as a female streamer, and because he spent like 15 minutes adjusting the breasts of the bodysuit, he got flagged and then immediately auto banned on Twitch for like it was like for like excessive whatever.
like nudity and stuff like that.
Yeah, and it was hilarious
Yeah.
because like all of the stuff that he was flagged for was all like female presenting stuff. And it was just
Because
like,
they thought it was real. Yeah, that's crazy.
like the
man.
auto moderator genuinely thought that it was just like thought that he was a woman playing with his boobs on stream, and it was just like, that's so good.
I will say, whatever this is tangenting, whatever happened on that the Mario Kart Raheem, that episode, it was, I don't know. We were like high off of stuff. I don't know what it was.
You were high off of stuff.
I was high, but I think and you were having a fun time.
was just playing Mario Kart.
Well, you were having a fun time playing.
Oh no,
just
I was having a
Mario.
great time, but I definitely wasn't going off the rails like you were.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but it was pretty fun.
It's happened like a handful of times on stream over our streaming career, where you just go absolutely bananas for no reason.
Yeah, I don't know what had happened. See, I don't need anything related to like alcohol. I could just get in that mood sometimes, and people will be like, "Saba, you need to like calm down." You're
And by
going,
people,
I
you
think,
mean
off
me.
the rip. Yeah.
Because there have been multiple
My
occasions
mood
where like
swings.
you are actually scaring me. with like how fucking manic, because it's not like hyper, it's like you act manic for an extended period of time, and I'm like, Saba, are you okay?
I'm just having a great time, Zach. Okay. And you know what? As long as I'm happy, that's all that matters. And I haven't broken anything.
Ooh.
That's also all that matters.
Come to Izdahar to claim a kingdom, but instead found only deadly peril. Yet no
Okay, that's where I
amount of
need to
danger
go.
could quench the fire within him. Every step brought him closer.
Well, I'm happy for you, Raheem.
Quench the fire within him.
Don't get too addicted, I
Every
guess.
step brought him closer to the creature.
Do not become addicted to water.
Exaltation. Each obstacle,
That's a
however
Mad Max
lethal, was another
Okay.
chance to prove his worth.
Because I figured, despite all of the weird shit that you do know, that you might not know Mad Max.
So I watched. I mean, I don't know about all of Mad Max, but I watched Mad Max Fury Road, which is actually a pretty good movie.
Fury Road is the one that had the quote that I just said.
Well, good. There you go. Then I guessed. I mean, the cinematography and the color work in the movie was great.
Incredible movie. Genuinely
Yeah.
wonderful movie. I have the Blu-ray. God, I should watch it again soon.
Okay.
Can I go up from here? Not really. I guess maybe this is all stuff I can come back to later, because this feels like a pedestal that's supposed to have, like, some air to, like, bring me up.
But like,
it's all
hasn't
busted.
some of the previous ones been broken though? I'm wondering if this is just like an aesthetic thing.
It's hard to know, I guess, or hard to discern.
I think it's just falling down.
No, I think it was just shaken.
What's shaking bacon? Well, I got my one exciting joke in for the day, I guess.
What was your exciting joke?
The one I had to take 5 years to explain to you.
Oh, okay. Made so much better by your refusal to say a swear.
By my refusal to curse.
Okay. And the joke, once again, like the ultimate summation is still A, size, or Saba thinks size matters, and B, that Saba is insinuating that I am either gay or bisexual, which are, it's, I don't know, it's so good. Oh, God. Top 10 moment that literally no one but Saba or I will ever laugh at in the future.
This
hey.
is proof to us we had fun.
I did have fun. It's true. Time to kiss a rock.
Prince, follow me this way.
It should also be noted it's the exact same cutscene every time, too.
Yeah, but I mean, it's been so, like, the times we had in between, it's been a long time, so.
It has been a hot minute. I wonder if this is going to be a thing where it's like rewind time. Excuse me.
Let's see. Ooh, that's a long thing.
Goddamn.
So you got a purple eye and you got some bacon. I don't know, I feel like that's a, the silver lining, Raheem, to the situation.
Because bacon is worth getting punched in the eye?
I don't know, you have to just try to find, I guess, the silver lining. Ooh.
What could you possibly give me, witch?
Your heart's desire. The lofty heights of Izdahar. Elder Princess.
By the gods, she's beautiful.
She's a rock! What do you mean she's beautiful?
This is trickery, my prince.
I will earn my victory.
So, see, it wasn't just because he was like, that was like, bad thing to do, right? He was like, nah, I just need to prove myself.
I need to prove that I am the hero. Use your creation powers. Oh, your creation powers have been improved. Okay. You can use your creation powers on normal surfaces without needing... What the fuck? Aim at a wall or at a door and press B to see what will happen? First off, that's bullshit. Who's shooting me?
I don't know.
Wow, okay. That's pretty fucking nuts, actually. Just being able to... Okay. Oh, is she... Oh, she's attacking me.
Yeah.
I didn't know what was happening.
What does pork taste like?
Fight?
I think you're supposed to get up to her and maybe try to hit her, maybe, yeah.
But
the only way I could describe
where is
it, Raheem, to you is it's kind of sweeter than other meats.
I don't know where she is. I can't see anything.
It's above. I think there's like a platform right above you.
Right, but then I need to get up there because I can't fucking see shit.
Be careful, my prince.
Can the hint help you at all?
Use whirlwind creation power to reach the balcony.
Oh, you can get to balcony potentially.
But
yeah.
it's higher than the thing I've been jumping to.
But you can jump Oh, I don't know if it's this side or the other side. I think is broken on the thing. Oh, never mind. You just made it.
Cool. I'm glad I did.
There she is.
I would love to get off this. Thank you.
Oh, she's privy to, insults. I don't know. Can you describe what bacon or pork bacon tastes like?
Pork bacon?
Zach? Okay, I don't. Wait, are you asking what pork bacon tastes like, Raheem, or like what pork, tastes like versus like the other meats? He did ask pork bacon, so I guess pork bacon.
We must leave
Zach.
this place.
I mean, it's mostly grease because the cholesterol content in like pork bacon is much higher. So yeah, it's like it's more savory, like more sweet. I think you said sweet. It's more sweet and savory. I could agree with both of those, I think.
I think pork in general is just more sweeter, so probably translates as well when you make it into bacon.
Ta-da!
Nice
Ta-da!
job.
Ta-da! No! Oh!
Target the broken plates, my prince.
Oh, now okay. Well, I guess broken plates do work.
Saba, the whole point of what we just got from kissing the statue is that now I can create handholds
you can do it anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the fact that she brought up the broken plates, I was like, oh. Okay.
I think the broken plates are now just to like indicate like this is where we think you should do it.
Yeah, that's
Sort of like right now there is none, right? Ooh, please, please, please come up. No, just climb, Thank you. No, I'm just normal. Join me, and you'll get a beautiful, buxom princess of your own.
I like that she says that, but then she also just calls us pathetic.
You're pathetic! Oh. Okay.
I hope you liked that little game, because the next time I won't.
I'm not gonna lie, holding up my arm like that's getting real tiring.
Your mayonnaise addiction will one day lead to the video you sent in the meme section of Discord.
You know what? I'm actually going to springboard off of that a little bit. So I was watching a different. I was watching a Twitch stream the other day, and I didn't even consider this in the slightest. So I've talked before about like Northern Lion, right? Northern Lion is like one of the bigger Twitch streamers on Twitch. Period. Right?
That you watch and stuff, yeah.
So
I don't know if you watch.
This is a different Twitch streamer is who I'm referring to at the moment. This other Twitch streamer has this rule because she's like she's bigger, like she's a partner, right? She averages like 200 viewers a stream, but she's not like enormous, right? She has a rule that I didn't even realize you could like. I mean, I guess I never considered it of no off-topic conversation in chat. Like the conversation has to always be about what she is talking about or about the game that is being played.
Okay, I mean that's a really, I guess, good way of moderating.
Right.
Very harsh, but yeah.
It's a guaranteed way of making sure that like stream doesn't like go off the rails or anything. Well, I mean, I guess if it goes off the rails, it's by our own choice, right? But I don't know. It was just one of those things where it's like I'm obviously not going to enforce that rule or anything like that. Like I don't want to stifle Raheem's whole business or whatever. But I was just thinking of it where it's just like, yeah, that was a rule that was on their stream, and I thought it was interesting.
You could always like, say that about like if you want at any particular time. It's like, hey, we're only because I've seen like some people like if people are talking too much or talking like or spoiling stuff, they'll turn it to like a mod. Oh, not a mod.
Emote only.
Yes, yeah, emote only.
I think this is
to
also
like calm people down.
Yeah. How do you think I should get over there to those chests? These guys just spawned. Do you think I'm supposed to like go down and?
Oh, there's a hook over there.
That's because I just put one.
Oh, that's your thing.
Once again, I can put hooks on literally any surface.
My remote fell. I think it's the wall. Yeah, right to the left of it, I guess.
I'm worried because I have no Oh, there's a... Can I jump over there? No. Okay, cool.
It's a little
Good to know.
far.
Love it. But now that
Oh,
now
look,
that
there's
I
another one back there. Did you get
yes, Saba.
Why is it red then?
Saba, are you not like watching the stream at all?
No,
I
am.
need a little light. I need a little light right here next to me in real life, so I know when Saba's eyes are like on stream versus not on stream. I had a I had a whole bit.
You could see it.
I had a whole bit where I was looking over there, being like, "Oh, I'll get that later." I didn't
was that
say
a
it
later
out
thing?
loud.
Oh, okay,
I didn't
okay.
say it out loud, but I was over there looking at it, being like, "Oh, I'll get that later. I'll go get these first since they're further back."
Wait, since you didn't say it out loud.
I was fucking wiggling the camera, like pointing
yes,
at
that
it
worked.
with my controller.
Okay.
Crazy
Think about
woman.
this. So can you can't get, do you see any way of getting over to that other platform through like any other means?
I was thinking like maybe I could jump from here to there, but
Could you whirlwind and like maybe that'll give you the height?
whirlwind just gives me height. It does not give me distance.
Is your jump too short?
Okay, okay, cool.
What?
It reached that time. It didn't reach before.
Nice.
There we go. Let's see. Does this work? Oh, hello. And then I can do, or not. Okay, and then I can do like a little bit of that. Yeah, there you go. All right.
Nice job.
Holy Christ.
And there was that thing below.
And there was that
as well.
other one, yes. So when I make my way back over there, I'll.
Well, Raheem, I'm like half paying attention because I already stated earlier that I'm like working right now, like chores working. So I'm like mainly paying attention, but I have to look down at something else, which is the chore.
It should be noted, by the way, as with most of my outbursts, it's a joke.
Yeah. But taking my word is very nice. I normally don't lie, so you're
Wrong.
probably 9 out of 10
Wrong.
correct. Like, okay,
Saba
but
lies
Zach,
more than anybody else
You're
on
a special
stream.
exception, okay? Because I'm in your head.
You fucking calling me special?
Zach, you don't think you're special?
No. I think it has been pretty thoroughly established at this point that I am not special.
But Zach, people can be special at being normal.
I'm gonna kill you. Is this where I started from? No, that's definitely not where I started from.
Whirlwind jump. Heck yeah.
I think that works, right? Yeah, there you go. Cool.
think
Now,
so.
is this optional or is this where I'm supposed to go?
Come out wherever you are.
I think it's where.
If this is where I'm supposed to go, I need to go because I didn't get that other chest. Did you just see that scarab get absolutely fucking obliterated by the rock? That was sick.
Raheem, that is a very good skill, okay? Any skill is a good skill.
You think that's a
presumably.
good skill?
You know, if you need it, right? There are some circumstances where it's necessary.
Sure. The game just crashed.
Oh, I thought my internet died.
Nope, there we go. We're back. Holy shit. Scary for a second. Tangential topic, just because I'm curious, I guess. In a potential future where you do have kids, are you planning on using... I don't think I can go back. Are you planning on using physical discipline?
I don't think so.
You don't think so, but you could hypothetically foresee a situation where it's like, this is necessary.
I think maybe potentially I could be reactionary enough to, like, you know, like if a kid, like, you know, puts their hand by like the stove, I'll, like, you know, tap their hand
Well,
away.
that's not discipline.
And I don't think so. Like, I don't think so. Nah.
I forgot the pattern.
I think mine would mostly be like, you need to like go cool down, and then we'll like talk.
Okay, got it.
What about you? I'll reverse this on you.
No, absolutely not.
Well then.
I firmly believe that resorting to physical violence for discipline is archaic and extremely ineffective. I think there's been
Not helpful.
been like an overwhelming amount of evidence that indicates that it might give short-term benefits, i.e. like your kid will stop doing the thing right now that's upsetting you, but over the long term it's just going to cause way more problems than you probably want to deal with.
Yeah,
So yeah.
probably not. No, thank you. You mastered the Bruce Lee 1-inch punch, and it's
That's pretty
fine.
sick.
Good for you. Very impressive, Raheem.
Sick of this fucking plant genie bullshit.
Plant witch.
Plant witch. It's a vegan sandwich.
Oh yeah.
You know what I just thought of? Is grilled cheese vegan? It's
No,
it's not
cheese?
vegan because it's dairy.
Because of the cheese, yeah.
It's vegetarian. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it has no
it has
meat
no
products.
meat. Yeah. I mean, if you get vegan cheese, I guess you can make it vegan.
What the fuck is vegan cheese made out of?
I don't know. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I mean, that doesn't even make any sense to me. Oh, well, shit, fuck me.
Physical discipline. Like unless like maybe a kid is so adamant on like doing something that you know is gonna hurt them, or like yeah, you know it's going to hurt them, but they're like I'm gonna like I'm gonna prick my finger or whatever, or I'm gonna touch the hot stove. Like I guess
Discipline. That's not discipline.
Well, I didn't finish what I was saying, but
Sorry.
okay. Zach, give me a second. And I'm like, I don't know whether or not that like, okay, if you were to give them something that's like an equivalent of like the pain that they would feel if they did it, whether or not that would deter them. But this is like a very specific case. And once again, I don't know if Zach would call that discipline.
It's not. That's not discipline. Discipline is like spanking. Like if the kid is about to touch the hot stove and you smack their hand, that's a physical action, but that's not discipline. You are keeping them from harming themselves. That's different. If your kid talks back to you and you repay them by going out behind the house, getting a stick and whacking them in the back with it, that's physical discipline. That's an additive. That's it. Like physical discipline is an additive physical interaction specifically designed to, or specifically intended rather, to deter a child from doing something.
I probably have other methods I could take that would like get the kid to like stop rather than smacking them. There's so many other ways. So many other.
Like, if
if
anything, the smacking your kid when they're about to touch the hot stove, I think that's just responsible, right? Because if you just yell at your kid, they might get scared and touch it, right? Like they might
yeah,
go.
See, that's the thing. Sometimes like you think about it, and it's like okay. Sometimes like the kid will never understand that it will hurt it until like they hurt themselves by it. Like I can tell you it hurts, but you won't understand what I mean by like the pain of it hurting or the type of pain unless you've actually felt it.
I can say from personal experience that luckily I never actually burned myself, so I didn't have to learn the hard way. But I remember as a kid, I didn't understand that fire would cause like serious damage, because in my mind, I just associated fire with warm, right? Because I lived in New England where it gets really cold in the winters, and sometimes we would have a fire on in the house, and I just remember like, oh, it's cold, I'm warm, fire is good, right? So I never had the circumstance where I like, put my hand on like, in the flames on the gas stove or anything like that. But eventually I just got old enough to, realize like, oh shit, fire can be bad.
Yeah. The thing for you, Raheem, is that I think some places culturally, in at least the West or America, I guess, some kids probably won't retaliate, depending on, like, sometimes they say, like, Southern culture. There's a lot of, like, respect ingrained in, like, I think Southern culture, right, where everyone calls people, like, sir or ma'am and stuff like that. I don't know how hard those kids would retaliate.
Once again, it's all like cultural context and stuff like that. I remember I had a conversation with my ex about essentially this exact thing of, like, if you ever had kids, would you physically discipline them? And she was like, oh, absolutely. If they talk back to me at all, they're getting a hand across the face immediately.
Wow, that's very short fused, I guess.
And that was the thing where it was like, to me, I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I'm not gonna lie, she was like, it's a cultural difference, Zach. And
oh my god.
and because I have my family and she had hers, and it was just one of those things where I was like, fucking Jesus, dude. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Now, I will say,
Can I? Oh, right.
there are, of course, some elements in, like, like certain cultures that probably are, most people would call archaic even to this time, and, like, it would probably impact people negatively, because some things are actually, like, more extreme than people realize. Like, being too subservient to, like, your elders, even if, like, they're doing something really, really, really bad. I know certain cultures, like, regardless of what the elder does, like, you have to follow, like, you have to accept what they're doing. And it's like, that's not good. I don't think that's good. Like, for everyone's sake, including that person, I feel like there should be a thing where it's like, you should be able to tell them, like, this is wrong, and, like, try to stop them. But,
I mean, like,
stuff takes a long time to change.
Because I as a white guy, I don't necessarily want to talk too much on it, but there has been, like, a recent rash of generational trauma movies that have come out recently, right? Encanto, Turning Red, select other few that I can't think of off the top of my head. I just know that there's been a couple, and it should be noted that, like, there's generational trauma in white families. There's a lot.
Well, of course.
But most of it gets hashed out in screaming matches where people just no longer talk to their families anymore. You know what I mean? Like, that's typically how, like, a white family ends up dealing with that sort of stuff. Not really, like, holding on to it and then passing on that trauma to your kid.
I will say, you should probably say, like, West, American, right?
West American white, that is true, because there's a lot of European countries where that's different. That's extremely fair.
Yeah.
Can I?
Yeah, because I can definitely imagine certain countries would have a lot of generational trauma due to what other people did to them as well.
Well, I mean, once again, that's like a different thing. Generational, generational trauma in this context is familial relations, not cultural relations.
Yes, I think I get. Yeah. Oh, we're out. No, internet died.
I'm not gonna lie. This game has a weird amount of backtracking. Not bad. Just curious is all. Because now that we have, like, complete like reign over where we do what you calls it, like, hooks and stuff like that, I'm genuinely interested to see where we go from this.
Well, I'm glad it's a little bit more interesting. Now, Raheem, like, address what you're, like, talking about. Like, I just think potentially there's better ways of doing this stuff. Like, I don't think you need to resort to, like, physical stuff in order to, like, get your point across.
I mean, I think not really the problem, I guess, but I think, like, the main draw to physical discipline is that it's way easier.
Yes, and it's like it doesn't require as much work.
Yeah, or like expertise in any particular or expertise in any particular situation. In order for physical discipline to quote unquote work, you just need to understand, like, I don't like what you're doing. Period.
Yeah.
right?
Well, there's a lot of, I think, fear in older generations too, where it's like fear of elders.
Well, yeah, I mean that, and that kind of derives from respect of elders too, right? Because it's like, well, this person's been around for a long time, so I should listen to them. Meaning that if they don't like what I'm doing, then that's inherently like a thing that I should avoid.
Yeah, kind of. Because Raheem was saying it doesn't work on this like newer generation. Well, it's like, I think there's one part of like, to a certain degree, they have less respect for people, true. But I think there's also like, I think two things collide while also still being a little bit separate. So like, yes, the connection is there, but like fear, like just having people fear you, was also a thing. So it's like they don't have that fear anymore, really, but they also don't. They've lost a lot of respect as well, I would say.
I would almost hazard to say that, at least from what I can tell, is that I feel like a lot of kids nowadays, I mean, I kind of include myself a little bit in this, in the sense of like, I think one of the reasons why there is less inherent like fear and or respect of like your elders and stuff like that is because of the dramatically increased perspective that newer generations have due to the internet. And I'm not just saying like, oh, social media is like corrupting kids or whatever. I mean, like, in the past, like in the 80s, what your parents and school teachers taught you when you were younger, you had no other perspective, right? You had your family and you had your school. Like, that was it. But now you have your family, your school, and then way bigger than both of those things is the global consciousness that is the internet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it leads to stuff where it's like you no longer have an innate need to listen to your elders because you have a much larger, much louder elder to listen to. You know?
Yeah.
Now, is that a bad thing? I'm not entirely sure. There's a lot of like, we'll call old school values that are being lost that I think are good to lose in terms of like things that were kept around purely due to like prejudice and tradition and stuff like that. At the same time, it does lead to a lot of things where it's like kids are kind of learning bad lessons quickly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, like you said, we lost, like, once again, it's like when things become traditional, or like I think the new gen sometimes like equates all of it as being bad because it's within association of it being like, a traditional thing.
Yeah.
So you lose both the good and the bad because they don't care to like analyze to, take the good. They'd rather just throw the whole thing out because it's associated to that.
I mean, if I can say from like my own, is this a new enemy type? Hey, look at that. If I can say from like my own perspective, I think I agree in the sense of like some of this comes from like a lack of analysis on the part of like the younger generation and stuff. But genuinely, I feel like it's because for the majority of human history, regardless of what culture you're in, most things that get written down are pretty bad. You know what I mean? So it's like when you try to learn about like the history of X, Y, and Z, there's a lot of stuff where it's like, well, maybe this thing wasn't actually as good as people think that it was, or maybe, maybe there are reasons why this sort of like behavior has like aged out of the demographic and whatnot.
Yeah, because I mean, it could be like
not saying that that's right. I'm just saying that mentally, that's where I think a lot of like young people go, is the idea of like, man, there's a lot of badness out there. Might as well just assume it's all bad.
No,
right?
And that's exactly what I said like before, right? Where it's just like without like any analysis because like it has negative stuff. Just throw the whole thing out. Make it easier on everyone, and you don't have to do as much work. But yeah, it's tough. It's like you have to put in a lot of effort to like think about what's good and what's not good.
I think one of the things about like parenthood, I don't know why we're necessarily talking about this, but like I think one of the things about parenthood that like scares me the most in the future is the idea of like something that I find completely innocuous and insubstantial to a child will become their entire like perception. You know what I mean? Because it's like, I don't know, just like You know one of the things that my dad reminded me the other day. My dad would always have his arm hanging out the window whenever we drove, and I remember when I was really young, I asked my dad, "Can I do the same thing?" And he was like, "You can only." He was like, "When you're older, if you can put your arm around your entire head and touch your other shoulder while going over the top of your head, then you will be allowed to like put your elbow out the window." And like 2 years later, I still remembered that and came back to him being like, "Hey dad, look what I can do." And he was so confused because he was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Right? And it was just like, for me, that was extremely important. That was something I checked daily. So that way I would know whether or not I'm allowed to put my elbow out the window like my dad does. But then to my dad, that was just some random bullshit he made up. So that way he didn't have to think about the consequences of having his like young child with his elbow out the window of a moving vehicle. You know?
Yeah, stuff is pretty interesting.
What did Raheem say? Did you guys ever get physically disciplined during your childhoods? Only on extremely rare occasions when I was being like a real shithead. And even then, like, it was mostly like, well, actually, I don't even know if I was necessarily being like a real shithead, but most of the time it was like mom was fed up and she would like, you know, she would smack me across the mouth or something like that. There was a couple times later in my like young adult life where mom would threaten me specifically while wearing her diamond ring because she was like, "This thing will fucking carve out your skull." And once again, I don't necessarily appreciate that, but I won't lie, it was definitely effective in getting me to stop being a shithead. So
I would say, to me, I don't think so. I have like, my memory isn't the best, so it's like, from what my like vivid memories of like disciplinary stuff was, it was more like taking me to be put in like, you know, timeout and stuff like that.
sure.
So, yeah.
How high can I go with this?
So,
That's a clear jump. Oh, come on, dude. That's horse shit.
That does not feel
I feel like this is what I'm supposed to be doing, right?
you only have one hook at a time.
Correct. I think
and, like,
later
a
I
bunch.
upgrade to more. At least that'd be my assumption. Because, like, if I do this, I get a little... Oh, come on. Oh, hey! That one didn't hurt me that time. Great. What the fuck? Wait, Raheem, what's visual discipline? I don't know what that is.
Like, a scary video?
Yeah, but I'll say, what's visual discipline? Is my mom showing me, my brother, a video of what hell is like? Okay, so like religious stuff, I guess. I don't
That is
know.
technically another scare tactic. if you
Dude,
think
look at
about
this
it.
fucking zone.
Dope.
This is sick.
It's
I really
really cool.
like this zone. This looks really cool. I love the classic Persian architecture.
With the classic Persian accents.
This is like a different zone entirely. What's happening? Am I getting... What kind of power is this?
I'm not getting out here. You came just for the water.
I just came for the water real quick. Oh, it increased my maximum health.
Oh.
Wait, I just did... This wasn't even where I was supposed to go? This was just an optional thing?
Well, hey, look. I mean, it's still good for you.
I mean, I'm still quite... hey, Sabe, remember how last week I was saying, like, I don't know, I feel like this game needs something a la the water, like, flow mechanic in order to really grip me? This ability to create handholds wherever I want is that mechanic.
Yay! So it accomplished it, I guess.
It has succeeded in what I had asked of it, which was like, this is what the game needed in order to like really grip me. Because now it's like, oh wait a minute, there's so many fucking options of where I can go.
And technically, it's even more freeing than the water, because the water still had to have
The
like
water
the
you still had to
placeholder.
do stuff. It was just like a pattern. This is like genuinely I
Now,
hate
could
to say it again, but
did
it's
they put as
freeing.
much content as they could because of this? Probably not.
But I
the
would
idea is
love
there.
this to come back in like a modern context, right? Like imagine like a fully realized palace where there's just so many fucking secrets that you can
Yeah.
you have your fucking whirlwind and you have your one hook. See what you can do.
I could defeat all the armies of Greece.
I don't know if you had this, Zaba, but what's my hint? Turn to this. Okay, cool. I don't know if you had this, Saba, but did either of your parents ever do that thing to you where it's like, make sure you stay in school, or else you'll end up like this person while pointing towards a garbage man?
No, I don't think so.
That was a thing in my childhood. Oh fuck! I just died instantly. That was a thing in my childhood, and I remember it was like, because I had just through like my own like curiosity, I knew that there were like things in like medieval Europe where, if a person was like a criminal, they would be relegated to like cleaning stables or something like that, right? So I automatically completed, you know, I'm not going to say exactly who, but one of my parents telling me this information and being like, oh, that must mean that garbage men are like bad people because they have to do this job. And it's like, no, that was just like
A kid's like thinking, I guess.
right.
Like,
It was like, no, it was just one of my parents making an assumption about like the education of a person. For what it is, it was not giving an example of what we would end like if we didn't be successful at school. But we are told that imagine if you're successful, then you can provide for mom when she's old and alone. Straight up, same exact thing. Because that was one of the things that my grandmother used to say before she passed, was that I had to find success in life so that way I could take care of my parents just like my parents took care of her. And I feel like that's pretty noble. I feel like that's a reasonable thing to want to do.
I agree with that.
Oh, I have to go down. Okay, my bad. I had to go up. No, I had to go down. Got a lot more mileage out of this topic than I initially anticipated. I apologize.
Oh, it's okay.
I was more just curious about whether or not you would fucking smack a bitch.
You know, I don't know. I mean, if someone else is throwing hands at me, I may have to. I'm not a kid. Dog's not a kid.
Speaking of like parenting stuff that gets on my nerves sometimes, I'm not a parent, so obviously I understand that parenting is one of the most difficult things that a person can do. But do you? How do I say this? Have you ever experienced interacting with a parent who treats their kid as if they are a fully functioning adult? If that makes sense. In terms of like their expectations or like conversational whatevers.
Maybe not in reality, but like I've seen the trope.
You've seen the trope before on like TV or something?
Yeah.
Because
Like
you know,
Matilda.
my cousin recently had an infant child, right? Well, I mean, that's exactly.
Yep.
They're always gonna start out as an infant, but you get what I mean. And there was a conversation recently between some older mothers that were over the house who were talking about how, the baby always yells when it's like the most inconvenient just because he wants to make sure that you're not, you know, he wants to make sure that all of your attention is going to him. And I hate it when babies do that. And I was just sitting...
Babies have the cognitive capacity to do that.
No,
Yeah.
right? And so like that was, you know, and I was being quiet, but like in my mind that was like the thing that I immediately thought was like, I'm pretty sure the baby is just crying because that's the only thing it knows how to do right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like this is from like a lot longer ago, but like back when one of my cousins was much younger, I don't remember. I'm not gonna get too much into it. He did a thing that was dumb, and I remember his mom yelling at him, being like, "Why would you do this? This doesn't make any sense. Why would you hurt yourself like this?" Right? And obviously, I was younger too, and I don't know if I'm necessarily correct in this opinion, but I remember just being like, he obviously didn't mean to. You know, like, he's already literally hurt. He probably doesn't need to add on the like embarrassment of being yelled at during like a family gathering.
Well, you know, it's like the emotion parents have, where it's like, it's not that they're angry at the kid, it's like they're angry at themselves for like, oh, one part of it's they're angry that the kid did it, but like the logic of it isn't there, so they're more angry at themselves for allowing it to happen or something like that, or because of like the kid being hurt, right? They're angry at the fact that the kid is hurt, not that the kid hurt themselves.
Is this another power?
We're ramping up.
Well, I guess wait, it's health again? Poggers, dude! Let's go!
Poggers.
Poggers! I'm not gonna lie though, just kind of looping back to like one of the things that Raheem said. You know, obviously I have a lot of like my own personal traumas with like deep-seated fears that I don't need to bring up, but like I couldn't imagine how much it would fuck me up if I lived in a religious family, and as punishment, my parent was just like, by the way, this is where you're going. It's just like, it's like depictions of fucking people suffering in hell and shit. I would be like, what? Oh my god. Oh god.
As the prince climbed, his mind returned to all the evils the Haoma had wrought.
What evils?
However,
bunch of plants.
He had unleashed this blight
destroyed everywhere.
prison. He knew he could not rest until its destruction was complete.
I can just say it worked, but just because like Wheeler, that upgrade gave me more revives. That's fun. But I don't know. I feel like we just had a protracted conversation about how like just because something works doesn't mean that it was good. I guess it's like that's really,
yeah. There's like other ways of doing
really,
stuff that isn't just
really
like fear tactics. You know?
Oh, because like there's like I'm just thinking about it because once again I'm not religious, but like and this isn't about religion specifically, but it's just like I'm thinking about it like I think wielding a certain level of fear makes sense, right? But at the same time, you don't want to like lay it on too thick because then you're gonna have
it's like irrational fear. It's fear for the fear's sake, not fear of like, hey, this is dangerous, so like be careful kind of fear.
Okay. That didn't work.
I don't think you summoned the thing yet.
I mean, it didn't let me do the thing. It didn't let me do it.
See, but once again, like Raheem, it's like
Does not feel good.
there's probably other methods that could get you to that, you know, same result that probably would probably have made more sense to you, and also less physical and less like fear rather than
I think one of the things about this topic that's really fascinating to just kind of consider from like a grand perspective is that human beings have been around for like 12,000 years or whatever, and it's still really hard to know exactly how to parent somebody.
Oh, for sure. Like,
right? It's tough,
man.
and you know there's like regional
That's why I say
concerns
it takes, like,
and cultural
village, right?
concerns. You know what I mean? Like,
and like to be honest, like when they say it takes a village, right? It's not like, oh, it literally takes like X amount of people to raise a kid. I think
it
the
takes like
idea
a bunch
is
of different people. Yeah.
Well, no, I think the idea is that all of the qualities you're trying to instill in a kid, like there's so much so that it's really a heavy burden on like two people. So if you can somehow relegate like some of those other teachings to other people, it makes life a lot easier for like the parents.
I'm gonna feel this for a long time.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's a shame that like that tactic of like raising people isn't really used in the US anymore, because people would rather live in suburbia isolated. Unfortunate.
I think also the things like they're learning are different. Like, you know, back in the day when you say it takes a village, right? You would be learning way different skills from like other people versus like your parents that like made sense. I don't know about today. Like, I think I would have to think way harder on like what could other people teach you that's like beneficial, that like is better, that like your parents like don't need to teach you. And I don't think I could come up with an easy answer for that off the top of my head. Yeah.
There we go. Let's try this.
Do you think harsh
Yeah.
exercise counts as physical abuse? Like, if the kid's body's like breaking down, probably.
I'm about to say, if it's to the point where, because I know that to some extent physical fitness requires a little bit of self-harm, like just inherently, but at the same time, like encouraging your child to be fit or like forcing them to be fit, I would not classify as physical abuse, assuming that you have like an understanding as to like the health limitations of your child, right?
Yeah.
Like for example, I actually, funny enough, I did actually know somebody from high school who their parents refused to believe that they had fucking asthma for a long period of time, and that was like exactly this scenario where it's like, all right, as a family, every morning we're gonna go for a run, and then like their 13th birthday came around where like the asthma started developing, and the family and like the parents were just like, oh, you just don't want to run with us anymore, and it's like, no, I'm literally dying. Right?
Raheem clarified he meant discipline rather than abuse. But like ultimately, I would say once again, it's still contingent on like, is it going to be harmful to the kid? Like, if the kid's just like being annoying and is like, okay, go run a lap. To be honest, like if the kid has an attitude, the running could actually help them exhaust the energy that they put behind their, you know, anger, and it could actually be beneficial. It depends on the kid.
Or like thinking about it where it's like, imagine you have, this is like a very specific scenario, but like imagine you have like two kids and one of them is misbehaving, but like imagine one's misbehaving and the other one's not, and it's like, oh, well, you're doing some of their chores now, right?
Yeah, and you could say that counts as like physical.
That's technically physical, right? Because depending on what the chore is, if it's mowing the lawn, like that's technically a physical punishment, but you're also getting something else out of it, right?
Yeah.
Discipline is such like a unique topic to try to consider, because it's like it can go bad very quickly.
Yeah, and if you think about it, like parents are mainly inexperienced, right? It's the first time they have to deal with something of that caliber. Okay.
Let's respond to what Raheem was saying real quick, and then because I wanted to kind of tangent off of what you just said.
When you say laps, how many do you think would be harsh?
How many do you think would be harsh?
I just, once again, I would have to know the kid. Like, it's hard to tell. Like of course, saying like 50 is like stupid. Like, that's absurd.
I could agree with that.
But like, if you were to say like 5,
Or like, I'm thinking about like in military families, they'll often do a thing where it's like, oh, I didn't like what you just did. Give me 30 push-ups or something, right? Give me 50 push-ups.
Lawrence, you walked into us talking about child discipline.
We've a protracted conversation about familial parental discipline. Hopefully you enjoy the conversation. Here we go.
Feel free to give input.
So like, okay, so it's like, if it's like laps and it's like, I don't know, let's say you have like the rough equivalent of like an Olympic track somewhere. How many laps jogging, let's say jogging, of an Olympic track?
Or like 3.
Like 3 would be a lot, even.
Yeah, 3 would be like, yeah, you did real bad.
for like, even in the context of like 3 would be crazy from a time perspective. Like
I would say 1 is like obviously the thing. It's like you do 1 to see if like you've gotten over yourself, and then if you're really pushing it, then 2, and then like 3 is like max like amount of run.
What does gotten over yourself mean?
Once again, it's like if the discipline is because like they have an attitude and they're really angry. Like it's okay, like
4 laps
just
is
run.
a mile. I think 4 laps is a mile. I think Lawrence is right about that.
For like an Olympic track, I don't know if there shouldn't be a difference, right? It should be the
So
same size.
well, once again, the hypothetical, just because we don't know what the lap is. Like, I don't know. Like, what if it was like, all right, 6 laps around the block or whatever? Like, that's not terrible, I don't think. Like, you'd be exhausted, but I don't know.
I just don't know. See, when we say Olympic, normally like the term Olympic means like big, right?
Yeah.
So
An Olympic track is very large.
Yeah, so it's not like the same as like the high school tracks that we used to run 4 to get like a mile on. Is that would be the same?
I think those are the same. I think it's standard.
Oh, okay. Then the mile is like tough-ish, and for depending on how young the kid is, 4 could be like a thing.
It's actually like the laps in particular, assuming you have access to it. For me specifically, that would actually be a really interesting like punishment, I guess, because it's like I would like, obviously the physical exercise would suck. Just look at me. Do I look like the kind of guy that enjoys physical exercise? But within that same hello, can I get the how the fuck, what the hell? Can I get out? Oh, there's a thing, thank God. But I would actually be more upset by the wasted time. You know what I mean? Like are you fucking serious? I backtalked you once, and now you're gonna force me to waste the next hour of my life pathetically
Would it take an
jogging?
hour? I mean, some people running a mile like
I don't know. I was
late,
just using
like,
like
would
a,
be
I was
like
just using a
12
hypothetical,
minutes.
but I don't know. I'm certainly, as a kid, not doing that in 12 minutes. I can promise you that.
Oh, but how long would you take, I guess, you think? Because like 12 minutes was pretty slow. But I was in like high school, so at the same time
12 minutes is pretty slow for 4 times around the track? I don't know. Maybe I'm just misremembering then.
I mean, I thought 12 was pretty slow. Like 8 or like 9 was pretty decent. And 7 and 6 is like, you're crazy.
Doing laps. Well,
No.
Raheem was just
You missed Raheem's last one. He added a different thing. Yeah.
Say you have a bucket with holes in it, and there's a water supply 10 meters away. Telling the kid to try to fill up the bucket with water would be a decent punishment. So you mean that's literally like Greek torture? Like there's an entire Greek allegory about like an individual who is forced to do essentially exactly that, and that's
more cruel.
Yeah,
of
I'll say like that's
I
cruel.
would say, because it's like you're setting the kid up to fail. It's not about like doing hard work to get back. Like you're being cruel enough to be like, it's already a chore to be like, hey, go 10 meters away to get this bucket of like, fill this bucket of water. Now you've just made the task impossible, and like they're gonna feel defeated by it. Like it's not about feeling defeated by it.
Now it's psychological. You know, like that's fucked.
Yeah,
I would agree. I would
12
agree
minutes
that
apparently is average.
12 minutes is average. Man, maybe I just don't remember then, because I definitely passed the fitness pacer test or whatever. I know I did that, but I could have swore it was like we were definitely outside, like grand total of like an hour and a half.
Well, we had, I think, on the days where we had longer, I think Wednesdays or something, we had like 30 minutes. I think we would be forced to do 10 laps in 30.
10 laps in 30, man.
If I'm remembering correctly. And then it's not
and
like
once again,
you just
I'm
have to
not
make sure
that
you
much
do
older
10
than you
laps
guys,
by
so it should
30.
be relatively the same thing as what I experienced. So
yeah. So but it's just like, yeah, you just have to make sure you have to do 10 by 30. So it was whatever. Cruelness, from what I've seen, makes the kid's attitude end earlier instead of taking 10 years off their life trying. Well, once again, there's one thing I think to exhaust a kid, because exhausting a kid could give you like the same thing, because like to a certain degree, once you're exhausted, it's like hard to fight back to begin with. But it's like if you're cruel to a kid, there could be some spite and like behind when they're done. And I don't think I would want that spite, because the spite could also grow.
Yeah.
Or
I
like
can see that.
despair. Like if you think about it, like if you like, that's like breaking a kid, right? To a certain degree, and it's like that's really not a good thing to do.
I agree. Also, I just realized that probably like associating a person's physical fitness with punishment is probably not a good long-term strategy. You know?
Yeah.
The idea of associating like the idea of associating somebody with, oh my god, that's a really bad idea.
No, definitely, Raheem. And it's like, I don't even know what I would like. I don't know. I guess we should. There's nothing to comment about, like, you know, if something should have done something different for you. But it's just, I guess, how we think about the concepts and stuff like that. Whoa, 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 whoa.
I made it.
Please let me go.
Please let me go. This game is full of hard. It's full of hard stuff. Nope. Nope. Please. Please, mercy. There you go. Although I will, funny enough, I'm thinking about it now, I do remember the thing that, like, I struggled to do pull-ups, right? Because heavier child, right? But the thing that I was flabbergasted at how easy it was for me, but very difficult for other people. Did you ever have to do that, like, part of the fitness test where you had to there was like a rope? There was like a rope hanging from like the gym ceiling, and it's like, all right,
you have to pull yourself up.
You have to pull yourself up, and then there's like, there's like a thing of tape, and it's like, all right, you have to get yourself up there within, you know, X amount of time. Fucking flew up that rope like nobody's business, and then was able to like there were other kids who would like give themselves rope burn on the way down because they were just like letting themselves go, and I was like, fuck that, and I just like monkey crawled my way down. I remember that and I just remember I specifically remember that being like a very weird sensation, because I was like, oh, this is why is that thing where it's just a bar and I have to lift myself up, why is that so hard? But then lifting up my whole body weight via this rope, easy as hell. I don't know.
I got no clue.
must be like different muscle groups or something like that, or maybe because I was allowed to use like my, you know what, now that I think about it, probably because I was allowed to use my thighs and legs. That makes a lot more sense. 4.
I don't know. There's a lot of like, not like workout stuff.
What the fuck is this thing?
What lay inside? The creature, the blade, and the chance to put right his mistake. But not all doors are equal. This one could withstand the fires of hell itself if need be.
An amazing mechanism. What does it do?
It is a lock, one of the strongest ever created.
I've never seen one like it. Who built it?
The ancients.
But who are these?
The ancients.
I told you, ASCP. Zach.
ASAP. You're right. That is what you said. You definitely said ASAP.
ASCP. She called it. She said the ancient, Zach.
The average punishment for me would be knuckle push-ups, or barring until you slip off, or 20 calf raises. What's a calf raise?
Lawrence, you missed the best part of this stream. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean, you have fun trying to retell it if you want.
I can't even begin to explain to you. An attempt at a joke was made. It took me like 15 minutes to explain to him why, like, what I said, and we eventually got there, and we both laughed for like a good couple of minutes, like.
So good.
And this is what. Maybe we should just get like the timestamp and be like, go to X time.
You can
and
do that. You have the capacity to do that. You know that.
I would be distracted for a while.
I would hate for you to be distracted while on stream.
Do you remember the fact that I said I'm doing chores, Zach? Right now? Please, sir, have mercy on me.
Ooh, what can I grab? Can I grab there? That seems right. There we go. Okay. Yeah, perfect.
But see, the one thing I really like about this place is or this game is that they did a lot more with color here.
I
think
can
that's one
agree
of the
with
big
that.
things.
I can definitely agree with that. Yes.
And I think because it's like the color is also like symbolic in some kind of way. So I like that. It adds more to the storytelling.
But they don't have a giant demon man specifically speaking Persian, so.
True. But don't you
There
like
we
this
go.
more? You get more of the realistic accent, Zach.
I thought, straight up, I thought you were gonna say like realistic Persian, like atmosphere or something. And I was like, oh, okay. I look forward to seeing pictures of your house completely caked in poisonous vines and shit. That's what I thought you were gonna say. Trying to think, what would the Jesus?
He's throwing something at you!
Fuck that guy. Thinking about it a little bit more, and it's like I think like the number one punishment that I received as a child as like discipline was just like disappointment from my parents. And I'm not gonna lie, very effective.
Putting me in timeout was probably the worst. Because it's like the feeling of like isolation and stuff like that.
Yeah, I could see that. Fuck.
Yeah, my mind's going crazy.
No, I hit the other one. Stop, please.
You spin me right round, baby, right round. Ooh, that isn't that like?
That's called
isn't
it.
that like when
That's
people
called it.
would just get like?
That's called a switch.
Yeah.
That's called a switch to the point where, depending
just
on what
getting
states
beat.
in the U.S. you live in, that is that is considered torture. Actually.
Yeah. So.
One of the streamers that I follow would tell stories about how back when he still had his dad in his life, his dad would if he ever had to get switched, it was his dad would force him to pick his own switch, and if he didn't pick a good enough stick like from the backyard, oh, new enemy type, it's a dog.
Chthonian beast.
If he didn't pick a good enough switch, he was like, all right, well, do it again and you're getting double the hits.
That's, I don't know. This is to a certain degree that just starting to sound like they use it like a torture with like his prisoner.
It just
That's
it just starts sounding like okay, so you just want to be cruel. Like,
yeah,
I guess. Oh.
Once again, like when it comes to like this kind of stuff too, it's like, bro, there's already a lot of stuff in life that's painful. I don't think this needs to be. There's
I don't
other
think you really
ways.
need to add this.
Yeah.
Depending on, I mean, life situations might be different, but at the same time, like, come on. I remember I accidentally beat my niece with the Switch when we were both much younger. We were playing Pirate, and I had brought home a pair of long wooden dowels from the arts and crafts section of the school, and it was the sort of thing where it's like, haha, hee hee, we're playing Pirate, and so it's like, avast ye matey, and I swiped at her and fucking struck her clean across the back, and she like crumpled to the floor, and I was like, haha, I'm winning.
Oh, because I mean, to a certain degree, kids don't actually understand how they can affect other people. So, like, I get it, but wow, ooh, ouch.
I want to say I was 14 at the time, so probably a little too old to not realize that was causing her physical pain. But it was like,
Anyone keep a secret.
I beat my knees. Cops get him.
Play your game. We keep secrets to protect ourselves.
Yeah, and then obviously, you know, I don't feel good about doing that. It was just one of those things where it's just like, you know, I had never been physically disciplined with something like that, so it just the thought never occurred to me in the slightest.
And we failed ourselves. The shame of my people runs deep.
Okay. No, I think I need to go up.
What's important is you are here
Oh,
now.
no.
You have returned to put things right.
Just a little whoop.
It's never too late, Zara.
Thank you for your kindness, my prince.
You know what, Saba? You have a banter topic.
I do. Let me go back. Did we talk about this one already?
I don't know, you tell me.
I don't know if I talked to you or like if I did talk about this on stream or I talked about this with someone else. I think I talked about it with.
Well, what is it? I don't know what it is.
It's the unlikable characters one. And how,
Oh,
like,
yeah, we
it's
talked
starting
about
to be a
this
trend.
like a long while ago. I remember because it was like because it was like this was in reference to your like unicorn character that you kind of wanted to play, if you recall. We were talking about like
No, that's hard characters to work with. I'm talking. This is separate.
well, likable is arguably the same thing, but but I mean to say I don't mean to like be shutting down the conversation. I'm not. It's more along the lines of like we talked about something similar to this, but I'm assuming it's different.
Yeah, this is different. I'm talking about, and I gave examples because now I feel like it's starting to pop up more and more, like main characters where they're just like not good. And I gave the example of, I added It Takes Two.
Sure.
Velma, the new Velma, Forspoken, and She-Hulk. I gave these examples.
I would largely chalk all of these up to just like subpar character writing. You know what I mean?
What's interesting to me is the fact that people think it's relatable.
Well,
I think that's the
yeah.
biggest thing. That I'm like, how could we have ended up here where we think this stuff is relatable when people normally who act like this are jerks and are just like cruel?
Well, because like so for the Velma one in particular, I don't know if anybody. I don't think anybody who is savvy thinks that Velma in the new show is relatable because you know that show is specific.
Even though she says so in like a line.
Right, Velma does.
Yeah.
You mean
Velma.
You mean in the show that is specifically designed to get people to hate watch it? Yeah.
No, that's the thing. The writers, though, probably.
No,
I don't know if the writers were sarcastic.
Well, this is why I bring up Velma first. The writers in Velma know that they're making a piece of shit because that's specifically why the show was made.
Oh, I hope so. I don't know about like that because I can't really guess the intent on things.
Right, but this is me informing
Does
you
it
that
make the
Velma
hate
in
watch?
particular is designed to be infuriating. Because
Okay,
that's
so
what
it's designed to be hate watch.
the show is specifically designed to piss people off on the internet so that way they can get, you know, more viewership. That's
well, okay, I guess to a certain degree, things existing for that purpose is baffling to me, but
you know.
I get stuff works, right, regardless of whether or not I like it. But I mean, you know, you see enough people like talking about it, like being like, why does this type of character exist? But okay, the purpose
So
of
there was
hate watching.
that. Then
Yeah.
there's Forspoken, right? Forspoken is interesting to bring up in this context because like the character is very strange because I'm assuming that you bring this up because you've been watching somebody play it. There's supposed
No.
Okay,
I
sorry.
have to we throw in a small tangent. So I only brought up Forspoken is because I started seeing videos of people saying how much they dislike the main character and like the dialogue is kind of cringy, but like it combines together. But you can continue.
So part of the thing with Forspoken that makes it a little bit more difficult to ascertain within this context is that so Forspoken has a lot of the problems with like weakness dialogue and stuff like that, but that's not necessarily what we're talking about. A lot of the stuff that the main character in Forspoken has that people have problems with, the character is supposed to be written in a way. she's supposed to have had a very difficult childhood, which makes her abrasive, which is not necessarily a bad character, right?
And you've had other I'm pretty sure there's other examples where we like characters like this, but I guess they just didn't execute her well.
And that's what I'm saying. It's a poor execution of the character is all. Like one of the things that the main character in Forspoken does that, you know, might make people chagrin a little bit is the very beginning of the game is this whole thing about like she got caught like robbing a place of a bunch of money, and she makes this argument in court that she needs the money because, you know, she's an orphan and she's really down on her luck and yada yada, and she gets arrested but she gets to keep the money or something like that. And after she gets out of juvie, they go back to their like apartment.
I remember the stuff catches on fire and people are just like baffled that she didn't pick up the bag of money because
right,
it was
because apparently
literally
it was
there.
so important, you know.
Yeah, like I get her cat's important, but the bag's literally there. You could like, you know, sling it over your shoulder and then go get the cat.
Lauren says, oh, and then Raheem has a question. We'll get to that question in a second. Lauren says, if the character is not a complete asshole, then people would find them relatable, wouldn't it? Just by virtue of everyone being different. Yeah, no, and that makes sense. It's just like and I'm assuming that Saba, once again, I kind of shanghaied the topic, but like I'm assuming that Saba has more to bring up in this context. But like I think writing once again, I'll just use abrasive as the adjective. Writing an abrasive character is so difficult because there's like a point where it's like
it's like I don't know. You continue. I'm trying to figure it out.
Saba's distracted by chores, and that's okay. So it's hard to do because writing an abrasive character can very quickly tip into them just being a piece of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And not even just in the sense of like, how do I explain this? So I'm gonna slight tangent, but it's the only example I can think of. 2 games that came out very quickly in succession with each other that kind of exemplify what I mean when I say that you need a good character writer in order to make this stuff work is Viola in Bayonetta 3. She's supposed to be like a dumbass, right? She's supposed to be kind of wacky and silly and dumb, and that's supposed to be endearing. But because of how the game is structured and how the character is written, she reads more as pathetic rather than endearing, right? Whereas in Hi-Fi Rush, the rhythmic like character action game that came out a couple weeks ago, the main character of that game, Chai, is almost exactly on paper the same character. He's dumb, he's goofy, he's foolish, you know, he has everything. But because of how they structure the narrative and how his dialogue works and stuff like that, he's not like, he's kind of cringy, but in an endearing way. You know what I mean? He's the type of character where you look at him and he's like, oh, you know what I mean? And yeah, so like that's a tangent because it's not about unlikable characters. It's about like,
no, you're helping me out here because it's like, I don't think the problem is like, I will say unlikable in the essence of like, I'll bring up abrasive. The problem is the character, not with the character being abrasive, is that the execution of these characters has gotten really bad. And I don't know why, like within like the practice of like how writing has shifted, we're seeing more and more of like, well, one, there's more abrasive characters because reality sucks and it's hard and blah, blah, blah. But it's like, and then on top of that, the execution of it is just like unbearable for people now. It's like, it's annoying. It's not like good, essentially. And I don't know why, like people are, it's becoming more of a trend that we're seeing bad executions. And it's just, I don't know. You would think to a certain degree, like people would start seeing.
Oh, come on.
Like you would start seeing like it'd be like, hey, like this isn't really working, you really have to change something. But to a certain degree, I feel like people are fighting back by like saying like, no, the character's fine, when in reality it's like, this is no.
Well, I mean, you can have like, and the problem is here is that a lot of this is opinion as well, right? So the problem is execution,
I
not
mean,
abrasive
based off of,
characteristic.
like,
Exactly, Lawrence. At
subjective-
least that's what I've been
Yeah.
trying to say. Because it's like, you can write a well-written abrasive character and still
Like, wouldn't
have
we
them
say,
be
like,
likable.
Deadpool's like
I don't know if
abrasive.
Deadpool's abrasive. He's
abrasive and horny.
he's not, but he's not abrasive. Like, abrasive is like, I was gonna
He's
say
like jokingly abrasive.
No, but that's
weird.
not like abrasive is when you're like trying to like when you're trying to cause friction, right? And like Deadpool is more like irreverent, right? Like, he doesn't take things seriously because he has awareness of the fourth wall and yada yada. So it's like, so he's
I think this
irreverent
would
in
be
that
made
way.
Much
Abrasive would
easier
be.
if you find an abrasive character that actually
Well,
works.
I was trying to
well.
think of an example, but like the example I was gonna say was like Raven from Teen Titans, because there's many times in that show where she's just kind of being mean, but at the same time they also give her a lot of circumstances where she's also just being nice. So she's not exactly like an
Yeah.
abrasive character. She has abrasive moments, but she's not an abrasive character. I'm trying to think of like an abrasive
I guess
character that works.
maybe potentially Lawrence as well. The thing is, it's like, if the character's only personality trait is abrasiveness, once again, it'll probably be way more easily leaning to this person's just a jerk. Because like you said, like, and because now I'm trying to think about it more, it's like, yeah, Raven was abrasive, but she was more than that, and there was reasons for her abrasiveness, right? Because to be abrasive isn't exactly a positive thing, and you know, where do negative things come from except for like circumstances?
Right.
But it's like, once again, if sometimes all of these characters are, to a certain degree, maybe at the core of, you're like, wow, these characters are just spiteful, and I think people can sense that, and it's just not relatable. So it's actually a bit of both, and like, I'm currently, as we're discussing this, like, I'm like currently thinking about it more and more and trying to like, and this is what I normally do with my banter topics, like I try to like figure out what's happening and try to like come to a conclusion.
Duh.
Yeah. We didn't answer Raheem's question a long time ago, but that's also because we changed topics, Raheem. I'm just going to give you an answer.
So-
Yes, because it's siblings.
Have you ever gotten
Around the
into a
same
physical
age.
altercation with your siblings? Funny enough, no, because my siblings are like 15 years minimum older than I am. I actually don't
And
know.
that's why I said around the same age.
I'm about to
Yeah.
say, like, and you know, that's the big difference, is that I'm from the second marriage, so like technically I have siblings, but they're half siblings, and you know, by the time that I grew up at all, my siblings were full-blown adults with like houses. You know what I mean? So no, I never actually got into physical altercation. I got into physical altercations with my niece, and I'm not just referring to like the pirate thing or whatever. I'm also referring to like, I grew up with my niece pretty much being my sister, just because of like the age difference and stuff. It was a battle for dominance.
Basically, it was about like finding your place in the hierarchy and making sure you weren't bullied. If your sibling was like that.
I don't know. I often say I got kind of the short end of both sticks, where it's like commonly it's associated that only children get a lot more stuff, but they don't necessarily get the camaraderie and attention that they necessarily crave. And then like a third child is already after the parents are kind of over being parents at that point. Like, it's a lot less special to have like a third, fourth, fifth kid and stuff like that. So like those two tropes kind of combine for me at the same time, where it's like I didn't have any of the camaraderie that hypothetically comes from having good siblings, and then at the same time I also got the whole thing of, you know, it's another kid. You know.
But I guess we can wrap up our like previous conversation with, you know,
I said
I don't know.
sticks, Raheem. If you have dicks on the brain, that's your problem.
But yeah, I hope, like, it seems like we're falling into a trend where it's like in sometimes a lot of spaces now, or I guess in creative spaces, where it's like people won't like do not accept like feedback. They're just like, we don't find it to be a problem, so we don't care what you say. And it's
Well,
just
it's
like
it's the conversational equivalent of works fine on my machine, so I don't know why you have a problem. Right?
Yeah, I think so.
That's a thing in like technical spheres where it's like you'll be online trying to look for a fix to a very specific problem, and some asshole will respond with, well, it worked for me, so it's your problem. And it's like, no fucking duh, it's my problem. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the conversational equivalent of that, of like, if somebody who doesn't or doesn't have a problem with Velma as the way she's written in that terrible TV show, that can be really frustrating
like,
to have that conversation, because it's like
kind
the
of like
character.
but maybe, okay, you're talking about like something, but it's almost like to the writers themselves. Like if the writers themselves were kind of like, oh, Velma's like an actual relatable character, like if they were to say that, I'm pretty sure like everyone would be like, no shot, like that's not the case. But like they would never like, and they would be like, no, we just don't believe you, we think like it's fine. It's like, okay, now you're just...
Character personality is more subjective than IT problems. Sure, but the sentiment is the same in terms of conversation, right? The idea of like, well, I don't have a problem with it, so too bad. That's what I was trying to get at, was that the conversational
that makes
sentiment.
more sense.
Yeah, I'm about to say, because they're not equivalent in terms of like the caliber of or the caliber or validity of issue. It's more just along the, just the
lines of like, okay. Sorry, at first I was like, the IT thing made me a little confused, but like, okay, where we got to in the end was But yeah, I think that's where it's headed a little bit, and I'm like, that's really not great in terms of quality of writing. And I'm like, well, I hope it stops. I hope we don't get a lot more of that. Because
that's the thing, though, is that like, I don't know if there's necessarily like, I think there might be a recent rash of poorly written abrasive characters.
And who knows, we may be in the middle of the rash, you're right, and maybe it'll stop soon. And I'm like, I'm just hoping.
Because I literally just thought, and obviously it's one example, but there's probably many more, but I literally just brought up an example of like a really well-written character. I guess they're not an abrasive character, but I don't think that's what you're really looking for, unless I'm mistaken.
Like, I don't think we've had this many people complain about like characters in movies and games being like this bad in like a long time,
I
don't know how many times in the past I've heard like, this is just a genuinely bad character without it being like a shallow character,
like a character that requires nuance to understand or something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Cap. Like, Lawrence, you need to give me examples. I need examples. My brain doesn't recall that much. There could also be, Lawrence, the degree of I was a child, so I was too stupid to know. Sure, but like, I think there may be some merit
people
in
the
the
internet
idea.
always find problems.
Okay,
I mean,
if you want to bring up the fact that people on the internet, sure, but like, in the era of like gaming, I guess, once again, I may have been too young to notice, but I don't think I've seen people complaining about like this problem in particular for like a while.
I'm trying to think of like, once again, it's actually quite difficult, and obviously I'm playing a video game at the same
Iron
time.
Man abrasive?
He's an asshole, yeah. Because he's like arrogant, right?
Yeah.
So like that could definitely be abrasive, sure.
But once again, he was complex enough, so it wasn't just he was abrasive. He was charismatic and he was like smart. So
True.
It was like combined
he was multi-dimensional. That is true. It wasn't just
but once again,
I'm abrasive.
no one complained he was a bad character. Like he still had the abrasiveness, but like it was actually written well.
I guess looping it back to what we were saying before, it was good execution.
Yeah. Raheem, I still need to like wrap up some Stardew. I may start some like other stuff. Like if Zach's like down to watch Ghost of a Tale, I may start Ghost of a Tale.
Sure, why not?
Because Stardew's like my go-to for right now, and I think after like I finish this first
bout, I don't know why I thought anything.
I may try the cozy. Wow, I genuinely can't remember what it's called.
Cozy Grove.
Yeah, is that it? Ghost of a Tale, as in, yeah. I think it's is it T-A-I-L? I could just go look right now. Hold on.
I think it's T-A-L-E.
Yeah, so yeah, how you spelled it, yeah, correct. And yeah, I think Cozy Grove was... Yeah, it's Cozy Grove.
Can I get over there, do you
My
think?
brain is starting
You
to
see all those
work.
fucking things over there?
Yep, let me come back to you. Hold on.
You see all that shit over there? I want to get over there. I want to get that stuff, but I don't know how. No, not high enough.
Oh, I will
to
say,
do
there's
that.
also a difference, Lawrence, when it comes to people not saying they like a character simply because, like, it's something they're not, like, used to, or they just don't like the type of character versus bad writing of a character. I should also make that note.
Preference versus execution.
Yeah. Indeed. That is why sometimes I push myself. This is just like a random tangent. I push myself to play certain games, like on Steam Next Fest, because I see the execution is good, even though I don't like it, the genre.
Fair, right? And that's always like a nice feeling where it's like, all right, I am mature enough to recognize that this is well done. It's just not for me.
I just can't do it. I just can't play it.
Insert almost any anime I have ever watched.
Okay. I feel like we've probably said
That was a
it.
good topic.
So, but I mean, okay. One last thing.
See,
It's
I'm
like,
glad I brought it up, man. I'm glad I was like, hey, don't you have a thing?
Indeed. Do you think? Would you like
I don't
agree to
think-
say like we don't have as many complaints about characters like in the past as we do like now? In this way?
I was younger. I just don't think I paid as much attention. Like if you're
And
talking
that's, like,
about from
fair,
like
yeah.
if you're talking about like from fiction in general, I feel like that's because a larger proportion of characters were purely archetypical. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Where it's like they had like a more or less template to go off of. And like the things that I remember from when I was younger are obviously the things that I liked. So, you know, like Spyro the Dragon has like his own personality, Crash Bandicoot has a personality, but they're like secondary to like the video game, right?
Yeah.
Man, I want to reiterate, this fucking thing where it has like the dynamic camera for every unique location is insane. Like that's crazy. Anywho, so oh, do you think I can jump? Oh, look at that.
Nice.
Secret chest.
Secret chest. By the way, Raheem, yes, that is the game. You've written the entire description out.
I gotta
Okay.
get back to that tower now. When did we start? We started at 3 my time.
Yeah, so we
So we have,
end
like,
in like
15.
40 minutes.
40 minutes. You're right.
Yeah, indeed.
Okay. Oh. I want to go back up the tower, but this seems sucky.
I will say, to a certain degree, I know some people may say I'm just trying to like make problems out of stuff, but I mean, hopefully people actually recognize I'm trying to think with like a critical eye. You know?
No, I think you're
So-
just a problem starter.
True. Zach would think that. Regardless, though, yeah. Not really trying to do that. I'm just trying to see reality and, you know, make judgments based off the information I know. The game looks oddly realistic for what it is. I mean, yes, Ghost of a Tale's kind of, you know, that's the style, I guess.
Ah, you couldn't see the platform. Okay, got it. Because now I can see the platform.
Oh, very nice.
Sneaky, sneaky video game. Right, what does this give me? You got an important heroics and improved grab and throw. You can throw an opponent.
Oh, you don't
further.
even try to grab
I don't
people.
even fucking do that.
I mean, to be fair, you could try to do that.
Well, I got the improved version, so maybe I will.
Okay, wow.
See, look, there's a fucking thing over there. Can I go over there? Is that how I get this better treasure? See, there's like a thing. Oh no, that's where I started.
Oh.
Ooh,
Is it where you started?
ooh. Got it.
I don't know if you can do that.
Does not look like I can. All right.
There
Well,
must be some other way.
yeah. Maybe some other
Anyway.
day.
Well, I guess all I can say about the last thing is like, thank you for satiating. I guess my need to talk about it.
Who, me?
Yeah, because I put it in banter topics so we could like discuss it. So
I mean,
guess
it's a good topic because it's always interesting, and I think a perspective that comes from this type, like not this conversation in particular, but from this type of conversation, is that we're not professionals. So there's a certain level of like humility that we should be expressing that we're maybe not in this particular
I'm
instance.
not like, you know, an S-tier professional, but I'd like to think, you know, we know a little bit, you know.
I would hope so, whether it be through our own personal projects or just consumption of media in general. But it is the sort of thing where it's just like,
or reflecting on like the degree, you know, I like tried to get, right?
that's
When it comes
true.
to like writing in general.
That's true. And the potential masters.
Hopefully.
I think what I'm gonna do, I don't know, maybe this will work, maybe it won't. I'm gonna try.
Because it's like the reason, right? One of the reasons why I care about it is because it is reflectant on like, you know, the stuff I'm interested in.
your
And once
ability
again,
to actually
interest.
like express the thing that you're supposed to be an expert at.
Yeah.
Is that hook too high? Am I gonna die if I jump? Seems like I'm gonna die if I jump right now.
I will
Genuinely,
say,
you guys would make an excellent podcast.
I will say this is my bread and butter. While Adrian is really good at like memeing off and like, you know, having spontaneous stuff. Spontaneous stuff he talks about.
You know what, Saba? If we did have a podcast, what would you call it?
Oh god, I have no clue.
Once again, this is exactly
It
what
would have to
Saba.
do,
This is
I'd have
exactly
to
what
do,
Saba
I
struggles
can
with.
give you a theme. I think it would have to be something like polarity, like dual something.
Why? Because because we are definitely not the same.
Yeah, we are not the same, and to a certain degree, we're opposites.
We are definitely not the same, Lawrence.
Oh my god. Wait, hold on. Go back to the physical discipline. Having Saba come up to your and whisper, "Spider." Would be the heart-crushing punishment.
Spider.
Spider.
Like I'm thinking
man.
about it now. I'm just thinking about like what's like the worst punishment I could possibly like conceive of, and it's like it would obviously have to be bespoke, right, to the individual. Imagine like because like Lawrence is afraid of spiders, right? Imagine if that was like his punishment was that like you do something bad, I'm gonna take like a bucket of daddy long legs and dump them on your head, right? That's like beyond cruel.
Ugh.
Like that would be insane.
No.
Or like I know you have a fear of heights, so I'm gonna make you hang out on the roof for like 30 minutes.
Now, Zach, what are your thoughts on, like, if you were to gather, like a idea of, like, worthlessness, like, you were to basically get everyone that the person cared about and, like, have them say, like, you're worth nothing.
Okay, so family
Pretty
get-togethers,
cool.
got it.
Family, no, no. Like purposefully, like, everyone, like, around you, like, throws you away.
Family gatherings, got it.
Wow, dang, I didn't realize it was that bad. Oh.
Fuck, how am I supposed to do this? Am I stupid? What the fuck?
And just,
Oh. Okay.
that was pretty good.
Well, they made it look invisible. Wait. Oh, there's a
At least,
switch.
Lawrence, you know from our last conversation of when you guys saw the games on Steam Next Fest and you were like, that's a Zach game. You probably didn't think, like, at the same time, this is a Saba game, correct? I don't think that thought ever crossed your mind.
What was the stuff where it was
Hey, Raheem. Hi.
what was the thing that you guys saw that was like, oh, that's a Zach game?
Okay, I don't know if we said that Necro Nom 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 was a Zach game. We just were like, what the hell is this?
Oh, I'm about to say that's
remember.
definitely not a me game. I don't do dating sims, but
No, but we just thought it was funny. I don't remember. Do you remember what that was? I don't think we were talking about Void Train being a Zach game. I think it was something else.
am I supposed to fucking jump rope with this?
feel like jumping is the correct thing. Yes.
That's so.
You're just the timing is.
That's hard, man.
Very particular.
At least it's not like physics chucking me across the universe, though.
Oh, you're getting better.
It's just so early.
I understand, Lords. Don't worry. Well, you know, maybe Grant will know.
Oh my god, look at all the water!
Remove water. But why?
That mechanism makes no sense. That would lead to so much water waste.
But look, Zach, I think there's an actual purpose to this water.
True, spinning water wheels. You're right. Zach, your game was the crocodile game and the wrestling game and Saba's Slime Rancher. What the fuck is the wrestling game?
This
Hey, yeah, I'm a little...
Did we play a wrestling game?
Which one was the wrestling game? Or you're talking about the boxing game? Was that like
Oh, fucking
Little
Punch
Mac?
Out?
for glory.
For what, my prince?
The reasons are my own, Zara.
Oh, it's a puzzle. Duh. Okay.
Nice, Zach.
It's a puzzle. I never would have guessed. Oh, other way, please.
No worries, we're here. We got there too, yeah.
This seems
You
complex.
basically have to...
I understand what I need to do.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, it seems complex because I have to, like, keep two separate... Nope, please. Please stop. I have to keep,
No,
like,
that
two
goes to me.
separate, non-visible... Yeah, so both of these are... Oh, actually, I wonder if I can now do a full transfer between the two because they're
Zach,
both
why
pointing...
can I imagine you sounding like Yoda?
I don't know.
It's because you can do it.
Miss, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, I'm all wet now. Shit.
Oh, this was the well-needed shower you needed, Zach.
It's true. I've been doing a lot of physical exercise as punishment.
Zach, I literally think you just swapped them.
Yes, I did.
Funny
And that's what I
enough,
was trying to
which is
do.
really good.
Because I understand that they all need to be facing outwards. It's just, like, that one's good.
Oh, but you need to just switch the... I see.
That's wrong. And that's right. So now I have two right, two wrong.
Kind of a little shitty you are.
Zach's getting into the role now?
Start saying Yoda line or Jar Jar lines as Yoda.
No!
So because each one of these is specifically angled in a specific direction, so like this one needs to go here. Okay.
Funny joke? I think I've
Funny
seen...
joke?
You've probably seen it. If I've
That's a
maybe
Game
seen it,
Grumps
I think
bit.
Zach's for sure seen it.
Game Grumps with it. It's a pretty good bit.
Funny joke?
This is an actual puzzle, by the way. I'm actually genuinely elated to have a real ass puzzle in this fucking game.
So, Zach, you like this game more?
No, this game sucks.
How dare you?
This game sucky doo doo. You heard me.
I see. This is the bit where you actually mean the opposite of what you say.
No.
I understand, Zach. Don't worry.
Horseshit. Oh, dude, you fucking goddamn shit, fuck.
Zach, I mean, the kids are watching. Zach, you can't be doing this. You can't be
Fuck you,
saying this
kid.
stuff. I'm
Your
sorry,
parents
kid.
don't love you, and Santa's not real.
No, Zach. Now you've gone too far.
I haven't gone too far enough. Who's the kid watching, Lawrence? It's it's a good joke.
Lawrence, I need to come defend yourself, Lawrence. Okay, you can't let this man stand on this accusation.
Man? What's with people calling me man?
Nut.
Lawrence hits me with the nut. That's so good, dude. Oh mein Gott. Oh, okay. If I just keep randomly flipping these around, eventually it'll work.
True.
Zach said the bitch word. Right. Say it again. Your mom's a bitch word.
Oh my god.
I don't have an evil laugh. Shut up.
Okay. Well.
Zach, shut up. I'm back where I started.
No. Technically, now they're facing outside.
That's where I
Before, it
was at the
facing
beginning.
inside.
I was here like 10 minutes ago.
Just think of all the progress you've made, Zach.
I have made reverse progress. I just need these two things to be swapped.
Progress?
Progress.
Oh man, I'm devolving myself. Covering mesh.
Or that's not. Please.
Raheem, the greatest insult you could ever give Zach, or maybe one of the greatest insults, is to
what, Saba?
tell him to
Enlighten
do
me.
posture check.
Tell me to do posture check. No!
Sit up, boy.
Man, give me a fucking second. Now my camera's gonna be all out of fucking. Ugh. And I won't beat your friend. Good. Great.
Furthermore, I'll knock down your Legos.
Your Lego Lugosi. Dude, I don't know how to fucking... Okay, I gotta think about this for a fucking second. Because it's like, I don't know how to get these two things to swap. There's only 4 things. So each one has to go in a specific direction.
Sorry? You almost stepped on something?
Why would you do that?
Because I didn't see it with the out of, you know. I thought it was out of the way.
Are you talking like... Why are you talking like that?
I don't know what you're talking about.
So that guy's right. That guy is now correct.
You know what Raheem's gonna do? Mix your Play-Doh colors.
It's the same fucking thing.
Zach is imploding. Hello, Raheem.
Oh my fucking god. Am I? Yeah, just hint. Wow. Thanks, game. I didn't know that. I didn't know that was the puzzle.
This was a while ago, Zach. The hints aren't, you know, the greatest thing in terms of the puzzle. They actually expect you to, you know, just figure it out.
Take this. Just gonna keep rotating them one at a time until something good happens.
Gummy windows. Just as long as you're not in a place in a forest with a witch that likes to make you fat.
Fuck are you talking?
I'm talking
Is that a
about
Hansel and Gretel? Are you trying to do a
Yeah.
Hansel and Gretel?
Yes. Yes.
Fuck. By the way,
I
I
should have
did
said
it.
who tried to make you fat and then eat
I
you.
did it.
What now then?
We return to the
Good
entrance
job.
hall. Surely enough water has entered the pipes to meet our needs.
God damn.
Nice, Zach. You finished the
Heroic
achievement
challenge.
in water.
Fantastic. Love it. Great. Thank you.
Water. You did it, Zach. You achieved water.
Water. Water. Water.
Waterloo?
Water. Fuck. Missed. Fucking ledge.
You missed the water.
So Saba.
So, Zach.
In an effort to just have a little bit of fun towards the end of stream, I enjoy talking about potential characters for the tabletop
Oh my
campaigns
gosh!
that we might do.
Should I
one day.
talk to? Oh, it's not here, is it? I don't have my list of. Been 10 people I could have been.
Oh, you did you make a list?
I made a list, but it's on my my home computer.
Okay, don't worry about it. We could talk about it at some later point. I was gonna ask you, who would you want to be for the heist campaign?
You may need to like give me like a little bit of a framework.
It's a heist campaign.
I know, but like you mean someone who picks locks or like
I don't know. What do you want to be? I can't give you a list of weaknesses yet for the team because there is no team.
No, I know, but it's just I've never thought about making a character for a heist game, so I have like really no starting
You know what a
base.
heist is? You know what
I do know what-
heisting is? I trust that you
I
do.
guess maybe I don't know enough about who goes on heists. I know what a heist is. Raheem, I'm just gonna answer no?
So-
Question mark? To you. But yeah, continue.
Have you ever seen like so you've never seen like Ocean's 11?
No, but I know like okay, the person who does disguises, the person who hacks into
Lauren
stuff, the
says
muscle.
she'd be the driver. She'll wait outside the bank waiting for the crew to do the job.
That's not a bad idea, Lawrence.
Unfortunately, I don't know how well that would work. Like, you could have driving
I
as a
have been to
secondary
Tesco,
skill,
Raheem.
right?
Yes
You've
is
been
your
to
answer.
Tesco.
We actually go to Tesco for groceries.
There you go.
Okay.
I'm about
I
to
guess
say,
the disguise person would be really fun.
like a grifter, like a person who puts on a disguise and can impersonate like a person. Have you
Or
ever,
like, you know,
because I know
I'll be like, you know,
real
a
quick,
janitor
you
or,
did
like,
watch
whatever.
Ocean's 11, right?
Did you ask presumably Lawrence? Because I already said no.
You said no. I didn't hear you say no. That's why I was asking
I
for
said I had
clarification.
not watched it. I'm like aware of it.
Okay. First off, you should watch Ocean's 11. It's extremely good. Secondly, trying to think of exactly how to say this. Like, you know, obviously the ones that you're like familiar with that are like really obvious are like, you know, the muscle, the brains, the whatever. So you're being like a disguised person, hypothetically, with the system that I kind of told you about before, that would make you like a social character, right? Because remember how I told you that the 3 primary stats are physical, mental, and social?
Mm-hmm.
So how would you feel about that? Wait, is Aldi in the US very cheap? I don't even know what Aldi is.
I also agree with that. I mean, you know me, like sometimes I feel like I default a lot to like wisdom characters. So I'm trying to branch out. I don't think I'm like a strong type though, so I guess the only other option or avenue
You
left
don't want
is,
to. You don't want to be like a muscle goon. You want to be like, all right, boss.
I don't think I would be good at that. So that's why, like I said, I'm going for the second best.
Like, all right, there's a locked door in front of you. You guys didn't anticipate this. How are you gonna resolve it? I crush it with my skull.
Definitely not me. Besides, we already have someone who does that. Okay.
Right,
Choose a crowd.
but as I'll remind you, much to my delight, Dave has said that for the pirate campaign, he's gonna be like a not like a physical character.
Ah, yes.
Oh, it's a bunch of scrabs.
Scrags. I'm just trying to think of like what would be the most fun. Like I like the idea of
The
like even
disguise
to like my
character works really well. I think.
even to like my heist teammates, like I could just be like someone in disguise and like I'm literally thinking of like who was it in like Spy X Family that he's like literally just like the most arbitrary
Sure.
person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm like
yeah.
that'd be fun.
Okay, because another heist movie that came out recently that was really good was The Bad Guys, the animated movie, and one of the characters in The Bad Guys is obviously it's a joke character, but they're a giant shark, like an anthropomorphic shark, and they're the they're the disguise character, right? But they're
Like everyone, it's like this super obviously a shark, but at
it's
the same time,
obviously a shark, but everybody immediately
no one notices.
No one notices. Like, I don't know if I necessarily want the heist campaign to be that goofy, but that could be really funny.
See, now you could potentially make me super short, Zach, and then like if I'm a tall
And no one
person, I'm just walking on
notices.
stilts. I could just be walking on stilts. Like I'd be doing some like shenanigans.
All right, so some social for your characters. That way you can actually talk to like people who are, that you're hypothetically going to be interacting with in your disguises. Is that a time thing? That might be a time. It was a time. I guess this would make your character more of a roguish character too, right? In terms of like combat. Although once again, it's supposed to take place in like pseudo 1940s, 1950s, 1960s, right? Like nondescript era. So you can definitely have a gun if you want.
Sure.
Saba says sure.
Have you been past any potato? No, I haven't really gone outside of Dublin this time. Before I probably did. No potato farms for me. I mean, I just thought like Zach. I don't know whether or not you would take it, but like I like the idea of potentially like knowing martial arts.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. We can definitely make that work. Karate disguise character? So like you're disguised. I'm just seeing it in my mind now. You're disguised as like a sweet older woman, and then like, wait a minute, why are you back here in the maximum security area? And you're like, fuck it, and you go, ba-da-da-da-da, just start like karate chopping people.
Or I like the idea of like, if you do like judo or something, you just the entire scene like you say that, but then the entire scene focuses on me just wrestling someone on the ground for like a good 5 minutes before me taking them out. Be good. But yeah, I think a martial arts would be nice. Or you could even do something, we make it something like it's a keto, and then that becomes like a personality trait where it's like,
Keto? The diet?
What? You've lost me. Is that not how you pronounce it?
What's the word? Can you spell it?
A-K-I-D-O?
A-K-I-D-O?
K-I-D-O.
A-I-K-I-D-O.
Yeah.
I have never heard of this. What's this?
You've never heard it? Well, the mantra of Aikido is like basically using your opponent's force against them, because it's like the idea is like you're not, I guess, trying to do violence. It's more of like a defense thing or whatever.
It's more of a defensive thing.
Yeah. Let me see. Let me look up the Aikido mantra. Okay, never mind. No one knows what it is.
Are you sure?
I said.
You said keto.
Aikido. Okay, his goal was to create an art that practitioners could use to defend themselves while also protecting their attackers from injury. Aikido is often translated as the way of unifying with life energy. The primary goal in the practice of Aikido is to overcome oneself instead of cultivating violence or aggression.
This is quite interesting. I could see this. Now, would you want this to be your character's like primary fighting style in terms of, because like that's really interesting, because like if this is your, it's a type of martial arts, and Raheem would know, I suppose. So yeah, so that makes sense. So if you would want your character to have this specific martial arts style, that'd be quite interesting, because you would have like a lot of disarming abilities, like physical disarming abilities, but then not actually deal damage to your opponent.
Yeah, so that would be like a personality trait. Now, if I wanted to just like, fight people, I think judo would be fun, because once again, it'll just be like me wrestling with someone on the ground for like 15 minutes and then like with like intense spy music.
No.
So, but yeah, that could also work.
It'd be great. I think we could make that work. I'm glad I asked. This is great. I like it. I like that character.
Do ya?
Yeah, because I'm just thinking of like all the silly disguises that we can put you in. You know.
I think maybe potentially making it a
it's
male.
it's the place where we were.
I wonder which one would be more useful, having it a male or female.
Male or female?
Yeah.
I think it. I don't know. Once again, I guess I would have to figure out exactly what tone I'm shooting for. But if I had, if I had to take a vote right now based on like what I'm thinking in my mind, I would love for it to be your character to be a woman, because then like, because then like I would love to see like you're disguising yourself as the janitor, so it's clearly like a not very feminine, but like a feminine body type with like a big mustache and like janitor's clothes, just going like, right on, dude. And then they're like, all right, yeah.
That's pretty funny. Okay, yeah, I'm down for either, I think.
I'm thinking about it now, and it's like, I think that like in terms of like vibe, well, wow, that's really annoying that you just get hit 3 times. I think in terms of like vibe, it would be really great if the heist campaign was very like Lupin the Third.
Well, I don't know what that is exactly, but I know it's fun.
Correct. That's all you need to know.
Yes, exactly.
What are you guys even talking
Raheem, Zach is trying to make like a tabletop campaign as like a heist thing. So it's like we're characters in it. So we're just trying to make the character or an idea for a character that I could be.
Do you see the camera just fucking freaking out? Oh, I love getting shot at by archers in the back. I love getting shot at by hunters while fighting these guys. That's great. That's fantastic.
The game's getting harder, huh? It feels like it's funny, it's like it's almost like whoever the game designer was changed like halfway through the game, and like the beginning was kind of like easy, it almost feels like, and now you're like being overwhelmed.
I mean, it's more just annoying. I guess you know what?
How many characters are there? How many people are in this campaign? 3?
Hypothetically 3. You, Grant, and Dave.
Yeah, so there's 2 other people besides me.
Nice! I jumped on him by accident. I'm dead. Cool.
Yo, those are some cool moves.
I'm glad you think so. Oh, come on. Please.
I mean...
I hate motion controls. I should say that. I don't hate this game. This game's actually quite cool. I'm glad that I'm playing it. It's more just like I hate motion controls so much. I hate having to point at the fucking screen. There you go. Oh.
Very cool.
If you had to take a wild guess. So obviously, assuming that Dave doesn't do something crazy.
So bad.
Like he's doing with the pirate campaign, we could probably assume he would
pick. I don't know.
Well, trying to think, because like, what else would you need? So once again, if your character, quote unquote, fills like the social position,
We have like the
right?
hacker or something. What's the most?
I guess that'd be a
cultural
mental
study
character, right?
version?
I wonder, because that's a really good idea. I wonder between Dave and Grant, who would be more willing to do like the hacker.
I'm not sure actually, and I'm not sure Raheem to you too. I don't know. Let me look stuff up.
The most stereotypical thing for Persians
tell me?
is their authentic British accents.
Oh, cats and rugs, but that's not really a stereotype. It's like items. Let me look this up. I genuinely don't know because I don't really have people talk to me about that.
I don't have people talk to
Okay.
me. There we go.
I don't know if anyone else has any. I don't, cause like we're such like a unironic, like we're a minority of minorities. Like no one really talks about us. That I'm like, do I know? I don't know if I know if what the stereotypes are. True. Though that I don't know what me speaking it has relates to stereotypes, but
I think he's just saying stuff.
oh, like he just remembered. Okay, I'm not sure, Raheem. Unironically,
I want to get over there. I mean, the camera is
have you heard anything, Zach?
I heard that Persians are
Yeah.
Be
careful.
I was thinking of 300.
Oh, don't you freaking dare! Yeah,
I was thinking about it.
that I'll leech you out. Okay, you're saying the stereotype is that I know how to speak the language? I don't think that normally classified. Yes, as I assume that the stereotype of French people is that they speak French.
I mean, that's
I
not
don't know if that's how that works.
That's not a stereotype. Also,
Yeah.
I don't really know about that. I will say that there was a. This is like tangent, but I talked before about r/am I the asshole. There was a post on there that I thought was quite interesting, which was a woman was asking, "Am I the asshole?" She's from Australia. Her entire family only speaks English. She moved to France for work, right? Fell in love, got married, had a kid. The kid is now 2 years old, and it's the first time post-COVID that they have traveled to Australia to like go visit her side of the family. And the family was upset because she never taught her kid a single lick of English for like the entirety of the kid's childhood. And she was asking, am I the asshole for not teaching my kid English when half my family knows English?
I mean, it would be more beneficial too. I don't know how much of like being a jerk. Okay. By the way, Raheem, I accidentally switched the can and the U in your like first thing. So when I read the message, it was like, wait, Saba, I forgot you can speak fluent Persian versus can you? So I didn't read it as a question.
Not a statement.
For the most part, yeah, it's like difficult. I need to practice more for sure, and there's some stuff I don't understand, but like for the most part, I can speak pretty okay.
For the most part, I can speak pretty.
Yeah, it sounds pretty nice.
Doubtful, but okay.
Water flows in the pipes.
All right, so that's 50% of this lock opened, and we have 7 minutes. So I think we'll probably just hang out and do the other half of the lock next Sunday. Man, it's a very basic mechanic. The like point at stuff to make hooks and elevators or whatever, but like or whirlwinds. But straight up, that's cool. That's a good mechanic. That's interesting.
I'm glad it's made it for you. I'm glad it's hit the spot.
That was a good stream. A lot of discussions on this stream, man. Ooh.
I know we went multiple routes with it.
We went all over
really
the
not
fucking
serious
place.
at the beginning, and then we got pretty serious.
Saba insinuated that I like dick. We
Hey,
talked
we were
about
writing
we
off
talked
your
about
Valentine's Day conversation, so you know.
we talked for almost an hour, if not over an hour, about like different parental techniques, parental discipline techniques.
True.
Does Saba know what Farsi is?
You're basically just saying Persian again, except within the language. I don't I don't know what you want from me, Raheem. Yes. The answer to your question is yes. No, I don't know. We've talked about this before, Raheem. I like spoke some for you, and I think you probably just forgot. Yeah.
There you go.
So, and then we came back to this.
So, you're still gonna be in Ireland, which sucks, but next weekend, hypothetically, we are gonna be finishing Thousand Year Door on Friday.
As of right now, I could potentially be coming back next weekend or a little bit into the week.
But I mean, like,
so
Friday.
it is a little bit of an unknown. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
It could be
So-
then too. I don't know.
So there's a very real possibility that, you know, because since you're only around for like an hour, that we might be finishing it without you there. But hopefully you've been enjoying Thousand Year Door of what you've been seeing 1 hour chunks at a time.
Outdoors, yeah.
So that's great. And then Sunday we'll be coming back to this. Next up for Fridays and Saturdays we have Poke Park.
Yay!
Yeah, so we'll be doing that. Actually, I'm gonna look up real quick. What's the how long to beat on Poke Park? Because I still really want to do Breath of the Wild before Tears of the Kingdom comes out. Okay. Holy shit, 8 hours. That's like a weekend. Oh my god, and the sequel is only half an hour longer. Alright, so like 1 weekend, maybe 2, and then hypothetically, I guess, like close to 3 months of Breath of the Wild. Oh my god.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Uh,
Raheem? Yes, like that's even it's almost offensive that you even have to ask that question. Yes.
it's
It's a
almost
food.
offensive.
It's a delicious food, and it's one of the main staple foods that we consume. Or if like we like go places, so.
Speaking of food, you want to take a wild guess
Anywho.
what I'm having for dinner tonight?
Does it start with P or C?
Starts with a C.
Does it happen to be chicken?
It is chicken. Congratulations, you win nothing.
Fantastic.
You win absolutely nothing for guessing that.
I win the
Too easy.
satisfaction of adding 1 to the tally.
Of adding 1 to the tally of Zach eating chicken or pasta because vegetables go bad really fast. You know the other thing? So last time we went out food shopping, I got salad as well because why not, right? And in my mind, I was like, all right, as long as I don't open this salad, it won't go bad as quickly, right? So
Until a week passes and you still haven't opened the salad and the inside has gone bad.
allow me to continue. 4 days goes by, which is a decently long time for salad, but I look at the bag and it's not like they're not browning yet. So I'm like, okay, cool. Hello, Mikey. You showed up literally at the very end of stream, so feel free to hang out.
Mikey, Poke Park's gonna happen soon.
I said Poke Park
That's
was
all you need
happening.
to know.
Vegetables go bad
I know,
fast.
but Mikey
well,
wasn't here.
listen, Lawrence, I don't cook vegetables. It's not really part of my repertoire, and it's also annoying to like go and buy them, you know, because like you have to like I feel like you have to go buy them when you're making something. Anyway, I don't need to explain all this. This is all stuff we talked about before. But what was I gonna say? So anyway, so 4 days goes by. I look at the bag. The stuff in the bag still hasn't browned yet. So I was like, okay, I'll have some salad. I go and I pour it into the bowl, and it slooshes, like slops out of the bag. I didn't realize that the inherent moisture within the bag would turn the salad into mush. And I was like, well, it's not rotten. I'll give it a try, right? It's not rotten.
No, don't do it. Don't do it.
I did.
Well, how dare you?
This was like more than a week ago at this point. So I did try it. I was like, how bad could it really be? I put some dressing on top. I ate some of it. Immediately it felt like I was eating slime. And I was like, and it was like, because I've talked before about how like texture is like a really big turnoff to me when it comes to food. It's one of the reasons why I don't like rice, because I don't like the texture. But like the salad and the dressing tasted like salad and dressing, totally fine. As soon as I put it into my mouth, I was like, this is salad Jello. Like, it's not good. And I ended up throwing it out. I felt really bad about it. But now I know that like there is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If I buy salad, I have to eat it within a day.
Yes, like, you should probably do that.
Yeah, but guess what? It's inconvenient and really annoying. You know what doesn't do that?
Zach.
Dry pasta.
You do realize some salads are so easy to make for yourself that unlike pasta, which you have to boil the water, put the pasta in, you just have to open the bag and toss everything together.
Yeah, sure, but then I have to go buy it again, and then again, and then again, and then again, and then again. I'm just saying, like, I'm not the type of, like, especially where I live now, and then I'm not the type of guy that likes doing, like, multiple... I don't like doing multiple trips to the grocery store every week. If anything, I like going to the grocery store, like, once every 2 weeks, which admittedly probably a problem on my end, but at the same time it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, it kind of sucks. I
know, Raheem, Zach's whole diet is blasphemous.
Tastes amazing, but to me it looks revolting. That's just whatever. Oh, he's talking about the subsy.
Yeah.
Zach, you don't like rice. Peanut butter ramen.
Ramen's pretty good.
Is your friend mentally and physically stable with food combinations? What the fuck is peanut butter ramen? Oh, that's Mikey. Speaking of food,
I don't think I've
any
heard
ramen
of.
fans here? A friend of mine is recently peanut butter ramen. So I don't know what peanut butter ramen is, but I'm sure that you could probably do like peanut sauce ramen, because peanut sauce is pretty good, and it would probably work pretty well with ramen. Lawrence goes, hold on, maybe that combo. Everybody, hold on. Don't crucify him yet. I'll send the recipe in the Discord. Sure, send it. If it's literally
I'm sure Lawrence could do something with it.
Yeah, Lawrence could probably do something with it. If it's literally just like stovetop ramen with peanut butter in it, I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see. All right, that's the end of stream. Good night, Saba. Good night, stream.
Alrighty.
See you all next weekend.
Bye, everyone. See you later.